tonight, no doubt about it, but we're excited about the playoffs.
The bad thing for the Payson Longhorns is their memories aren't short enough. They just played Show Low last week and took a drubbing, so it's going to be an uphill battle for the Longhorns.
It is really going to be a tough battle, and I think, Payson's had a rough go towards the end of their schedule anyway. Tough teams they matched up against, and you mentioned it last week, again, facing the Cougars, coming back again this week, but, for the Cougars, you got to show up and you got to get off to an early start. Hopefully, they still got some guys beat up a little bit. Hopefully, they can rest up.
Well, also, Bill, as these Division IV playoffs do get started, we got word that the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets are up 21-0 over Monument Valley Mustangs. The Snowflake Lobos, they take the field tomorrow, I believe, in their first round matchup. So a lot of excitement. 8 games going on here in Division IV. Interesting twist, though. We're out here on the field. It's going to be cold. You got your beanie on. You're looking good.
Ready for this cold weather.
Yeah, and but this year the playoffs are going to be at the home team another week. So we're going to have one more week of this weather probably. As Show Low, Blue Ridge, and Snowflake, we would expect all to advance.
I tell you what, I think we've been here when it's been colder, though. Tonight's a nice, cool, crisp night, and it's great football weather. But we've seen it much colder, so we're going to enjoy it.
It is going to be a fun night, and let's go ahead and get right into things here on the Cellular One pregame show, Live Connected. And Bill, for the Payson Longhorns, it's all they really are the three-headed monster, and that's about it. And one of the main guys for them is number 12, Wyatt Chapman, their star tailback, just a sophomore, but can get it done.
Absolutely. You look at the athleticism. Again, we saw the last time I saw Payson play, the quarterback had a nice touch. They do some good things, but Chapman, only a sophomore, started as a freshman last year, is the real deal. He's not your conventional big physical guy. He's a tall, lean, but can eat up ground. Very fast, very fluid, and works the entire game. Fun guy to watch.
Yeah, obviously the goal for Payson is to get him in the open field because he's going to outrun just about anybody. But it's got to begin and end with their quarterback, the Payson Longhorns, who are without their starting quarterback, number 20, Miguel Mendoza. We'll be calling his name a lot tonight. He's the leader and kind of makes things go. Kind of has to have a big game tonight. Well,
it's been a frustrating year, I think, too, because at times you've seen them really play well. You can see the ability. Mendoza has a great touch. We've seen him at times make some nice throws to guys that, not a lot of quarterbacks can make that throw. But you put pressure on him, obviously. It's a hard road to hoe, and I think that's what this Show Low Cougar defense does. They're very physical on the front, but very athletic, supporting around them, and they're going to make it difficult for this Payson Longhorn team.
And, of course, Mendoza's favorite target is Tyus Sarnowski, and I'm sure we'll talk more about him later. But right now, let's go over to Brandon Todd. He had a chance to talk to Coach Swartwood about how he feels Payson matches up tonight. Brandon?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Bill. I got a chance to talk with Coach before the game, as he was before his team even got out, and it was a very nonchalant conversation. He's taking an interesting approach to the game. He said, look, we want to try to keep it close. He said, we keep it close, maybe get a few turnovers to go our way. You never know what could happen. He understands that they're definitely the underdogs coming in. But he said this week in practice, they put a few new plays in, a few new things that we're going to see. Maybe try to surprise the Show Low Cougars defense. So good news for him. He's no key injuries coming into this game, as Show Low, as you guys will touch on here in a minute, do have some key injuries. So look for Payson to be aggressive. Maybe try to get that deep ball, try to get a few early scores, maybe catch the defense on their heels. Mike?
Brandon, for that conversation with Coach Swartwood. And we're going to take a quick break here on the Cellular One pregame show. When we come back, we'll take a look at those Show Low Cougars, the favorite here tonight, and also talk about the Ace Hardware keys of the game, that and more right here on the Cellular One pregame show. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football, high school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold, period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
You got it, no problem. Here we go. You have audio. Here's your legal.
Intelligent, informed. iTalk 106.7 KNKI Prime Time. Copenhagen Communication.
And you're hot.
Mike, what happened to you?
I have no microphone, so
Bill's going to have to take it over. Hey, thanks, Bill. Mike Reneel here with Bill London. We're going to have to share microphones as we have some technical difficulties. Bill will try to figure that out. He is the technical genius around here. But we are anticipating the matchup here tonight between the Payson Longhorns and the Show Low Cougars. And we've already talked about the Payson Longhorns. Quickly, we need to run through the what's to look for from the Show Low Cougars. And really, they get it done in all phases of the game. I don't know if you have a microphone yet, but Bill, and is there really a weak spot for the Show Low Cougars?
Not that I can think of. You're right. They do have it in all phases. I think specialty teams, everything, every aspect of it, they all come to play. And it really starts with coaching, scheming. These guys do a great job. It's going to be a fun game.
We as you mentioned, special teams. Donnie Borrego out here kicking field goals. Everybody watching in his pregame warm-up. But some other guys to pay attention to. Obviously, quarterback senior Colby Maxwell. He's led the team. Not necessarily the best passer, but he has led the team, and he comes up with big plays when he has to have them.
And, it's a tough job, road to hoe. He's got a lot of talent around him, a lot of skilled guys. He does a great job getting, and Coach Reisdorf as well, and their coaches, getting a lot of guys involved because they've got a lot of talent. You got to keep them all fed, feed the guys and keep them hungry. These guys do a great job.
Well, and one of the injuries Brandon Todd talked about earlier is Jace Wyatt, one of their star defensive players for that Show Low Cougar highly touted defense. So a guy who's going to have to pick it up tonight is Austin Daniels, another senior, but another guy very capable.
I think that's the upside, too. You look at the numbers, bodies on the sidelines. You do have a guy that can step in and help out. Let's face it, though, Jace Wyatt, not an easy guy to work around. he really anchors that inside linebacker position, a very physical guy that can move around, but also offensively on the line does an outstanding job getting his players and getting out in front, blocking. We can see him move. I mean, I think that's what that line does so well. Very athletic, big guys that can get out in front of those very fast and athletic running backs, make it difficult.
Well, and the last key player really for the Show Low Cougars, he gets 90% of the carries. They run the ball about 30 times with him, and that's Dallin Crandall. And it seems like as the game goes on, Bill, he actually runs harder.
He is. He's a north and south kind of guy, just a steam engine, right? Runs downhill every time, does an outstanding job. It's going to be exciting to watch Dallin Crandall through the playoffs. What I like is, even when they play tough teams, he's the kind of guy they stick on the defensive front end. He's a defensive end, and he's very athletic and gets after it. He's got a motor that doesn't stop, and he's just very explosive, a really strong athlete.
Well, the Payson Longhorns are making their way back onto the field. We have just one more part of business to take care of, and we're actually going to Brandon Todd. We're going to Brandon Todd on the spot with the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced, day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place with 3 locations in Pine Top, Show Low, and Overgard. And Brandon, you had a chance to talk with Coach Reisdorf before the game, and so according to Coach Reisdorf, what are the Ace Hardware keys to the game?
Well, Coach Reisdorf first off said, hey, we're a little bit nervous. He said, obviously you have to have nerves at the playoffs, but they're nervous about the injuries that you guys touched on. He said that, when you have to fill those spots with younger guys who don't get as many reps as those starters, you never know what could actually happen. As we get a nice shot of the cheerleaders walking in front of me, I think that their keys to the game tonight are to protect the ball. Don't give the Payson Longhorns any unearned opportunities to score, which I think they'll do. I think they'll probably appreciate it. Anyway, we'll send that back over to you guys. You guys can finish that up for me.
All right. I think they're walking in to get your attention, Brandon. And don't get run over. The Show Low Cougars will be coming out here momentarily. But, Bill, let's finish this up. What do you expect from the game tonight?
Well, obviously, I expect the Show Low Cougars to come out early, establish control, and get after it. And that's what you really want to do. If they're going to struggle, this is a great night to do it. It really sends a message to remind your team to stay focused. Coach Reisdorf and his staff, though, hey, these guys are experienced. They've been in these playoffs. They know what they're doing out here. And this team plays hungry. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. You can bet they're going to show up. It's senior night.
Yeah.
I think, that's always nice. These guys want to perform well. Even though it's not a huge crowd, they want to take advantage of it.
Senior laden team, and perhaps the crowd is at home watching us on italk1067.com, where you can get this live stream here tonight. Also, obviously, on the radio at 106.7. And also some key injuries for Show Low tonight. Trevor Solomon, one of the receivers out, and I believe Quentin Clark. So both wideouts, starting wideouts, out for Show Low tonight.
Absolutely. But you know what? Now is the night for them to be out. Yeah, even with
get healed up.
Wyatt, right? Because you want to give these guys a chance. This is a night where they can rest. You want to be at full speed by the time you get in deep into the playoffs, because these guys expect to be playing down the road.
They do indeed. That's going to do it here on the Cellular One pregame show. Bill London and Cannon Smith coming up next with live play-by-play action right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at italk1067.com.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City4TV at 928-532-4160.
Two defenders, and Ram Valley is rolling.
And now, Show Low Ford's
Team captains for Payson, number 20, Miguel Mendoza. Number 5, Titus Arnowski. Number 69, Jesus Apodaca.
Restaurant, Tate's Auto Center, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass.
Still London. Let's go downstairs and get the coin toss.
During the game, but during the play, but when it's over, you can help each other up. Go back to your huddles. It's not a stare-down contest or taunting or anything else. So we'll do as good as we can during the play. All right, you're the visiting team. That side is heads. The red side is heads. The tail side has the swirl cactus on it. Okay? I'm going to throw it. I'm going to flip it in the air. I'm going to let it hit the ground. You tell him what you're going to call. Tell him right now.
Heads. Heads is called.
Heads is called, and tails it is. You want to toss. You will receive. You want the ball. Which goal will you defend and kick away from? Defend and kick that way. You guys go over with that man there. Okay, you want to go with me? Okay, I'm going over here, and we have green has won the toss. They will receive.
Shake hands.
Elects to receive.
This is your coin toss for tonight's contest as we get set for high school football here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com. The Show Low Cougars round one of the playoffs. They're set for battle here tonight. As you heard in the pregame comments, these two teams already matching up last week. The Show Low Cougars put up 8 touchdowns in the first half, 4 in each of the first 2 quarters. They did not score in the second half, obviously having a little mercy on this Payson team. Payson with a single touchdown in the contest, that coming with 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Payson's Wyatt Chapman, a 15-yard touchdown run. Dean Harp had the extra point, the only points of the game for the Payson Longhorns last week. Scoring out of the Show Low Cougars in the first quarter last week. They got on the board in their opening drive with 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bryce Rove drove it in for a 12-yard touchdown run. And then Rove scoring twice in that quarter. Rove getting a 6-yard touchdown later in the quarter. Also Kobe Maxwell to Brett Van Winkle on a 12-yard touchdown pass. And Show Low's Maxwell to Van Winkle again on an 11-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter as the Show Low Cougars dominated that first half. 4 more scores as we mentioned in the second quarter. Show Low's Dallin Crandall, a 6-yard touchdown run. 10-13 left in the second. Bryce Rove, an 80-yard punt return for a touchdown. 4:59 left to play in the second. It was Willie Wyatt on a 13-yard touchdown run, and Bryce Rove capping off the first half with a 34-yard touchdown run. Of course, Borrego was perfect on the night on point after tries. Payson set to kick it away for to the Show Low Cougars. As we get set for high school football action here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com. K&KI Pine Top, a Kopanicki communication station. High end over ender towards Van Winkle, picked up at the 15. Van Winkle brings it back to the center of the field, to the 20, looking for a block at the 25. Slips a tackle at the 30, 35, up the near sideline, 40, pushed out of bounds. Inside the 45, William Youngberg finally knocks him out of bounds, and the Show Low Cougars will have a short field for their opening possession of the game. Show Low looking for a pretty easy ride through these playoffs. As we look at the brackets for you, the Cougars, assuming they beat Payson tonight, will face either Safford or Australia Foothills. The Bulldogs have been pretty prolific as of late. We'll see how good they are as they face the Wolves of Australia tonight. Throw by Maxwell on first down the middle towards Rusty Allen, and it was incomplete. Sarnowski was step to step with him on the coverage. Let's go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo. Mike.
Hey, thanks, Camden. Interesting. The Cougars going right for the home run on the first play from scrimmage. We talked about Payson having some new plays. Show Low probably has a few wrinkles they're going to throw out tonight, too.
Thanks, Mike. As the Cougars take a snap on second down, handed Crandall, has a hole, crosses midfield into Payson territory, first down and more, as he picks up a Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Volk Mortgage first down across the Longhorn 45-yard line. Sarnowski on the tackle. Opening paragraph of the first. Fresh set of downs. Maxwell throws to the left, has a man wide open. It's Fawcett at the 20, 10, 5. drive, pushed into the end zone, score it. 44 yards on the touchdown for the Show Low Cougars. They strike first.
Well, what a shot to Foss at that time. Again, just runs it out down the left sideline. Nice throw right over his shoulder, gets it in full stride, and manages to get into the end zone. Great start for the Show Low Cougars here early on.
Prego on for the point after try as the Cougars are on the board quickly here. Takes them 4 plays to get to the end zone. And if anything will take the wind out of the sails of the Longhorns, it's early scores. And there's the point after try. It's got plenty of leg, and it's good. 7-0 Cougars with 11:23 left to play here in the first quarter. We'll step away. This is high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com, presented by Show Low Ford.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football. High school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fee.
As he brings it past the 20-yard line on the return. Cougars up 7-0, 11-17 left to play here in the first quarter. Bill, you've commandeered the heater.
I did. You know what? The closer you get, though, you got to be in the fire. I believe in it.
This is probably the warmest night we've had.
It actually is a really nice night.
And we've got a heater and all of our winter gear. Here's the snap. And Chapman looking to turn the corner. He will not get there. Austin Daniels. And Daniels swings him into the backfield for a loss.
Also Brett Van Winkle over there, but I think that's what the Show Low Cougar defense does. You know, they actually space really well that time, trying to get around the outside, coming around the right side, the near side. That defense so quick to react. They get out there, stop him, and then there's help immediately stopping him for loss. He couldn't cut back.
Wide receiver to the far side of the set. Mendoza under center. Takes the snap, hands it off. No, play action, throws, caught by Sarnowski in double coverage. Looked like it was going to be a hook and ladder out there on the outside.
You mentioned it, triple coverage, really. Nice throw, though, I thought, by Mendoza. Really threw it on a line right where it needed to be. You see him get set up in the pocket, turns and throws. And again, Sarnowski, we've seen him make some pretty good catches. You know, that pretty impressive athlete, does a nice job, even in traffic, secures the ball and gets a big chunk of that yardage.
A manageable 3rd down and 2 here for the Payson Longhorns, just shy of their 30. Mendoza to throw, caught by Sarnowski, fakes outside, slips a tackle, gets out to the 35-yard line, has a Mountain Comfort heating and cooling first down. Austin Daniels on the tackle for the Cougars, along with Damian Sharp. Fresh set of downs for the Payson Longhorns. And a 7-0 lead for the Cougars here with 9:47 remaining in the first quarter. Yellow Jackets up big over Monument Valley in their game. Last total, it was 35-0 early. We'll get you a scoring update from Royce Kincannon here in a moment. Double wides left and right. I tandem in the backfield behind Mendoza. Take the snap, fumble, ball's loose, gonna get into the Cougar secondary, and it looks like the Cougars have fallen on it.
And a tough way to start for the Payson Longhorns. Their best defense is to keep the ball on offense. We saw how quick the Show Low Cougars can score, believe me, Payson needs to hang on to that thing, and not something we're used to seeing. Chapman loses the ball. Looks like he didn't really have control of it, but the Show Low Cougars with great field position at the Longhorn 42.
I think it was Garrett Means on the recovery. First down and 10 in Longhorn territory at the 42. Man in motion out of the backfield, empty backfield. Maxwell rolling to the right. Now he's going to run, has some room. Crosses the 40 to the 35 and will run out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down, I believe, at the 33.
And that's what Maxwell does. Again, very athletic quarterback. They roll him out to the right, create space to give the receivers more time. And really, they take the defenders deep. He runs in the corner, takes it on up. Van Winkle came back, made a nice block.
Handoff straight ahead. And Crandall going to be stacked up as he crosses the 30-yard line, has a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down at the 29 of Payson.
That's something you really see, that last play, Van Winkle. A lot of receivers do not like to block. Van Winkle, not one of those guys, very physical out there.
Here's the handoff, going to the right side this time with room to run, and I think it's Rove. Rove picking his way through traffic, has good yardage on first down, across the 25 to the 24. And we'll take a look at the replay here. And one of the wrinkles we've added tonight, special thanks to our crew, is this instant replay.
Well, you mentioned it, what a great crew it is. Again, high school students doing an outstanding job. Also some great sponsors down there.
Here's the snap, Maxwell to throw, has a man, caught, touchdown Cougars, and it is complete to Fawcett for the touchdown, and the Show Low Cougars are on the board for the second time, but we have a penalty marker thrown back at the 32-yard line. We'll check it here. Penalties against the Longhorns. Let's go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo. Mike.
Hey, thanks, Ken. Yeah, that penalty's against Payson. I believe it happened after the throw was already in there. It was some kind of a blocking thing or something. But either way, the play will stand. But I tell you what, serious blown coverage by the Longhorns there. Fawcett was wide open. Maxwell didn't even throw it that great, but he had plenty of time to track it down.
Well said, Mike, as Borrego comes on for the point after try with 8:25 left to play here in the first. The Cougars will not accept the penalty, obviously, here.
I know, that's okay.
And
here we go.
We get set for the PAT. There's the snap. Good hold, a lot of pressure, but Borrego punches it through. And the Cougars lead it early, 14-0. We step away with 8:25 left to play in the first quarter. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Test 1, 2, check, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City4TV at 928-532-4160.
Skipark.com for details.
Here's your intro. And you're hot.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. We got a roughing the passer call, I think. Oh, what? The roughing the kicker? Oh, that was the roughing the passer call before the point after try, I'm being told by Mike Granillo. So the Cougars have a short field, and Borrego will punch this one through the end zone with ease. He's going to get a field goal. Borrego hits a 45, make it a 55-yard bomb. A 55-yard field goal here. It's not going to count for any points, but he punches the kickoff through the uprights. Let's go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo.
Hey, thanks, Candace. Something to look for now is Longhorns are already in a deep hole. They're probably going to have to go to the air quite a bit more. And we have a couple of younger guys, Means we've talked about, and number 88. I forgot his name already. That's how much he's played so far this year. But those are the replacements. We'll see if Mendoza attacks those corners.
All right, thanks, Mike. Mendoza under center. Hand it to Ames. Ames lowers his shoulder and fights his way across the 25.
Hey, let's go!
Nice little gain on first down, Bill.
It's a tough defense you're trying to work against. Obviously, that 3-4, very, their line very physical on the ends, anchored by a big nose guard. All designed really to allow the linebackers to make plays. But the Payson Longhorns do a nice job, just that quick blast up the inside.
Wide receiver to the near side of the formation for the Longhorns is Tyus Sarnowski. They hand to Ames again. Ames this time going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. First man there was Austin Daniels. And actually they say Skinner. We'll check the jersey number for you here in a second, but a good carry here on first down. Or second down, rather, and they've got a very manageable third down and 1.
But I think Austin Mills, again, the big nose guard, anchors it on the inside. And again, he's getting at least 2 blockers on him every play, which is ideal for your nose guard.
And it is Brian Skinner wearing 48 tonight. Mendoza on a quarterback keeper has the first down. A Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Volk Mortgage first down. They'll move the chains.
And that's the speed of Mendoza, again, just very quickly. You can see him back in the huddle, excitedly trying to get his team a little bit, some energy, see if they can pick it up a little bit.
Reminder, if you'd like to watch tonight's contest, you may do so by going to our website, italk1067.com, italk1067.com. Pass complete over here on the near side. Reception made to Bowen Sweeney, the junior wide receiver. Close to yes, they give him 7 yards, call it 6 on first down. It brings up 2nd and 4.
Little wheel route, little swing route out to the flat on the right side. Nice job getting those quick yards. Again, they know that Show Low defense is going to be there quickly, so all those yards at the catch, not much after.
Wide receivers go left and right. Mendoza under center here. On 2nd down and 4, looks like a blown play. He pitches, and Chapman's not going to get around the corner. He's going to be hit in the backfield. Alan Crandall and Means in on the stop, and a penalty marker thrown.
A little bit of confusion on that. Again, not getting out too far. A quick pitch really allows that defense come up from the outside.
14-0. Cougars lead. And a 2nd down and 4 is going to turn into just a penalty against the Payson Longhorns. Holding call, 10 yards, spot foul from the spot of the infraction, which was about the line of scrimmage.
This crew, this officiating crew, originally was going to do the Blue Ridge game. Had an opportunity to talk to Dave Clark, the line judge. He mentioned they thought they were doing Blue Ridge. It got switched at the last minute. And I think they're based out of Flagstaff.
From the Longhorn 28, 2nd down and 14, Chapman. And going to be hit by Austin Daniels, and Van Winkle going to push him backwards into the backfield.
Tackled by number 50, Austin Daniels, number 2, Brett Van Winkle.
See if we can get a chance to watch this play on a replay. Just a chance to see how quickly the Cougars get to the ball. And then they just stand him up and push him backwards. That's what you call gang tackling.
That is gang tackling. That'll wear a runner down, sophomore or not, especially just coming right back here.
3rd down and 11. Throw to the near side, intercepted. Rusty Allen at the 30-yard line. He'll be drugged down at the 32, or the 26, call it. And they'll say a knee was down back at the 27. Great little catch, though, by Rusty Allen.
Absolutely. Again, coming up on the corner, pressure to the outside. You know, D-backs not necessarily known for their hands. Rusty Allen, obviously an offensive guy as well, comes up, makes a nice catch. And the Show Low Cougars, again, knocking on the door with great field position inside the 30 of the Payson Longhorns.
Well done, and a great job by our camera crew catching the, getting that replay to us. 3 receivers on the right side, 2 will go out. Quick throw, caught, then knocked out. That was Van Winkle on the catch, but it'll be incomplete. I missed, I think it was...
Van Winkle was the intended receiver.
I think it was Harp. Dean Harp was the one that popped him and knocked it loose.
But he bobbled it. Van Winkle, not something we're used to seeing. Normally he's got solid hands. That time bobbled it, but a nice touch pass by Maxwell. You know, we talked about him early on, but he's done a nice job this season.
Crandall up the middle, slips a tackle and gets across the 15. Oh, brother, he's a fun player to watch as he just about broke one there.
Big fella, we talked about it running north-south. Crandall does a nice job keeping his balance. Even though he's going down, he's put his arm down, trying to extend, get every yard he can. Outstanding runner.
Here's a quick throw by Maxwell over to the right side. Van Winkle's got it. He's going to be horse-collared down at the 10-yard line. And the tackle's made by Sarnowski. Sarnowski knocks him down.
And a little bit of after the play talk, and that's one thing we do worry about in a game like this. The score gets obviously out of hand, and the Payson Longhorns maybe frustrated from last time, frustrated again. You just don't want to see anything stupid. Somebody get hurt or a shot taken on somebody.
2nd down and 5. Maxwell to throw on 2nd down over to Rove. A little screen. He's got room. He's going to dance into the end zone. Nobody will touch Bryce Rove, and a great designed play for the Cougars to get the touchdown.
And, you know, that's great calling right there. And that's when you can really credit the offensive play calling for the Show Low Cougars. Again, we saw strike, roll to the left, throw back to the right. And it's a nice, easy run into the end zone. Good blocking downfield, but really catching that over-aggressive defense off guard.
I believe Drew Larson was one of those that had a terrific block down there to spring him loose. High snap, and they're going to pick it up and fire to the end zone. It was Farr who tried to throw it away there, and they're actually trying to make a completion, but he does throw it away. So a botched snap, and the PAT is no good. We'll keep it here with 4 minutes remaining. The Cougars lead it 20-0. Let's check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Hey, Camden, already you talked about the chippiness. Tyus Sarnowski, he's a very emotional leader for the Payson Longhorns. And he's already feeling very frustrated tonight. He's barking at guys, trying to tell him where to go, and also Miguel Mendoza trying to fire up the guys. But it's an uphill battle because the Show Low Cougars, Bill talked about in the pregame show that they, you know, this could be a potential letdown game. They are coming out firing on all cylinders and look very crisp so far here tonight.
Thanks, Mike. And, you know, the Cougars are a team that has the capability, in my opinion, to beat anybody in the state right now.
Absolutely, and you know, don't forget the opening. They played against some much bigger schools. Really did a great job early in the season. No easy task. So kudos to Coach Reisdorf and staff, maybe for putting that out there for them too. They know how to play tough.
Borrego to kick. Puts foot into it, high end over ender, drives Youngberg back into the end zone, and I don't know what Borrego ate for lunch, but he's got some juice in that leg tonight.
Well, no surprise. I think he's one of the premier legs in the state. Again, for any size school, does an outstanding job. Has been the kicker here for how many years? We've been talking about Donnie Borrego. Another outstanding kickoff.
Longhorns trailing 20-0, 3:58 left to play in the first quarter. 3 touchdowns already for the Cougars. Last time these two teams met a week ago, they fell down 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. Handed to Skinner. Skinner across the 20-yard line, tackled by Austin Daniels, and knocked down at the 22.
Nice job by that Show Low Cougar defense. Again, really not allowing Payson to really get any kind of sync or any kind of a rhythm going, and that's what this defense does. Get you out of your game early. The offense strikes up 20-0, and already this offense sputtering.
Wide receivers left and right. Mendoza under center on 2nd down and 9. Hand it to Skinner. Skinner off tackle right side. Not much there. A gain of maybe 1, and a 3rd and long coming up.
You know, unfortunately, some of the predictability, it really works to Show Low's advantage. Again, an obvious throwing down now, you know, 3rd and 7. We'll see what the Payson Longhorns come up with. But to run it with this, again, as quick as this defense is, no easy task, and yet we saw them intercept the last throw.
Mendoza on 3rd down, looking to throw. No, goes to the option. Tries to get around the corner. He slips a tackle and fights his way across the 30-yard line. He'll be close to a Lacey Weeks at Wallach & Bulk Mortgage 1st down, and they give it to him.
And really not something you're used to seeing is the Show Low Cougars missing a tackle. I think it's Stravos. Stravos Castillo, again, had a nice shot on the quarterback, just couldn't make the tackle, got a nice hit on him, but you got to credit Mendoza, again, making another great play to keep this drive alive.
Wide receiver coming to the near side, single receiver to the right, and they're going to pitch to Sarnowski. He's going to throw, and he overthrows Dean Harp. In fact, it was closer to Damian Sharp than it was to Dean Harp that time. And Harp, speedster, we've seen him light up the sidelines with lightning speed, but Sharp was with him, in fact, out in front of him.
Absolutely, and when you talk about Damian Sharp, he does do an outstanding job. He turns, recognizes the play that he's going to throw it, and just turns, and he had the best shot, as you mentioned. It's senior night, so we're seeing a lot of excitement down on the field.
High tandem in the backfield. Mendoza play action. Now he's going to pitch. And Chapman turns it up at the 30-yard line. Slips a tackle. Austin Daniels, though, knocks him down at the 34.
You can still really credit Rusty Allen. Rusty Allen comes up from his corner position and really makes a shot. Actually, his linebacker position. Comes up and takes a shot on the quarterback, forcing that pitch early. Once you got the ball pitched, it's easier for the defense from the outside to come up, make the play. And again, we saw a good play coming from the back. Turn it back inside, everybody's there. Nice job by the defense.
2 receivers left this time. Tight end lining up to the right side of the set. Mendoza looks to his left, fires, has his man, Sarnowski, on a quick in here, and Sarnowski on the slant route picks up a Mountain Comfort heating and cooling 1st down. Garrett Means on the tackle, and he'll be knocked down at the 47-yard line.
And Rusty Allen out there on the other side, playing the wide side, gets turned around on that one. Sarnowski on that little end does a nice job once he gets the ball, just tucking it, protecting it.
Minute, 9 seconds left to play here in the first. Snap to Mendoza, hand to Skinner. Skinner bounces off a tackle at midfield. Van Winkle going to dump him backwards as he gets into Cougar territory. And I'll tell you, they have really turned up the public address announcer tonight, Bill. I'm not sure.
It's the playoffs, right?
Everybody's juiced.
Everybody's peaking, but you're absolutely right. You know, as far as the running back goes, Jake Ames, I think Skinner. So Skinner on that run, not easy to bring down, really got those tough yards on his own.
2nd down, and it's a Chapman. Crandall going to drop him in the backfield for the loss.
You know, we talked about the athleticism of Crandall. You see it on the defensive end. How many running backs do you know that play defensive end? Crandall does an outstanding job. Explosive, comes up quick. From his linebacker position, does a great job.
Chapman with 5 carries, -5 yards, and that'll end quarter number 1. The Show Low Cougars lead it 20-0. We'll step away. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Yeah, Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football. High school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
Welcome back. The Show Low Cougars lead it 20-0, and the Longhorns, for some reason, have to call a timeout here. Let's check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Yeah, I think somebody forgot to come on the field for Payson, and they took so long on the sideline that they didn't have time to shuttle them in, so Payson has to burn a timeout. But probably a very good idea, because this is probably Payson's best drive so far of the night. Coach Spartwood wanted to make sure they try to get some points out of this one.
So right out of the first quarter timeout, Longhorns have to burn a timeout here. You know, it was a moral victory, though, for the Payson Longhorns. They were down 4 touchdowns last week in the first quarter. They're down only 3 touchdowns tonight.
You know, hopefully they do have a memory to remember that, but, you know, it doesn't taste much better. Obviously, as this game progresses, I expect the score to get much worse. And it's just a frustrating way to end the year, although kudos to them for making it in the playoffs.
So we finally get our first play of the second quarter as Mendoza takes the snap, looking to throw. Fires right side, going to be picked off. No, incomplete. Intended for Hart. Damian Sharp coming up and almost picking that one off.
I tell you, Damian Sharp couldn't have played it any better. Again, just playing outfield out there. Just reads the ball, steps up, comes in between. Really had a great opportunity for an interception, but still does a nice job knocking the ball down.
Second down, or excuse me, fourth down, and about 9. As Mendoza coming to the line of scrimmage, sending 3 receivers to the left side and 2 to the right. Empty backfield. He's in trouble, going to be sacked in the backfield. Dallin Crandall gets him.
Dallin Crandall coming from the backside. Nice speed rush from the outside. Wraps him up, brings him down. Great play by Dallin Crandall.
Great job on the edge that time. You see the quickness of Crandall to get there and get him before he can even set up.
And, you know, that's hard for a quarterback. That's something that's going to be in his mind every time he comes back, regardless of whether or not they send somebody, which the Cougars probably will, but just knowing the ability for the Dallin Crandall and his teammates to get in there and pressure makes him release it maybe a little bit early.
Quick throw over here to Van Winkle. Van Winkle slips a tackle, now sheds another one and fights his way to the 40-yard line. Van Winkle looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss, but he gets back not only to the line of scrimmage, but gets positive yardage out to the 40.
Little swing that time. Quick throw to Van Winkle out in the flat on the right side. The near side does a nice job getting a few extra yards. That Payson defense actually came up well.
Here's the snap, handed off straight ahead. Rove had one man before he was looking at pay dirt, but Dean Hart will tackle him shy of the 30-yard line. Good enough, though, for a Lacey Weeks at Wallach & Volk Mortgage. First down at the Payson Longhorn 31.
Rove, again, a speed guy, does a nice job setting up blocks, but Hart with a nice little trips him up, saves a tackle or score.
Play action, Maxwell swings it to the left, caught by Van Winkle. He gets knocked down at the 25-yard line, and now we get double flags over there as the official threw his flag, then threw his hat. And we'll take a look at the replay here. A horse collar and pulling off the helmet that time of Van Winkle. And Van Winkle may be coming out of the contest. I don't know what he said after that play. Maybe we can look at it again. But the official not happy with the situation. Here's the play again. Well, we'll cut away from that for a moment. But the officials talking it over. And Van Winkle may have
just been a little over emotional. Again, maybe it's easy for us to say a little, but again, a very physical Sarnowski. We saw him down at the other end kind of with an ugly head tackle, comes back, does it again. Van Winkle bites on it and is upset by it, and unfortunately they'll be the ones losing on that one. It looks like
here's the play again. As you
Brandon
see,
Todd wants to.
Van Winkle going to get horse collared here, and they actually face mask and rips his helmet off.
Face mask on the defense.
And let's go downstairs and check in with Brandon Todd. Brandon.
Okay, guys, here's the scenario. What happened? Obviously, Van Winkle was tackled high. The flag was thrown for a face mask or a horse collar or whatever. Well, Van Winkle wasn't very happy about that. Hopped up, helmet off, threw the ball at, I believe it was Sarnowski who tackled him, threw the ball at him, so he got his first flag. And then the bench over here, I guess they were chirping at him, and he looked back and actually blew the bench a kiss, which then gave him his second flag and then the ejection.
And another penalty marker is thrown now down at the 32-yard line, at the original line of scrimmage, as we see the coaching staff of the Cougars out on the field trying to get an explanation. Coach Reisdorf talking it over with the officials. And it was, had he been able to remain silent, it would have been a first down with a opportunity to pick up extra yardage on the face mask. Let's check in with Mike Renneal. Mike?
It's actually Ron Everingham.
Hey.
Oh, actually, let's check in with Ron Everingham. Ron?
Hey, I just was down here. I'm actually right by Mike. You might have heard it too. But Reisdorf.
So, yeah, it's an unfortunate.
Two weeks ejection, but you can see Coach Reisdorf down there now. Looks like he's talking to the Payson coaching staff as well, out on the far sideline. But again, that's the problem. Payson's in a no-lose situation. You've got to keep your head if you're the Show Low Cougars. You can't bite as much as you want to. You're going to have to let your play speak for itself and let it go at that. Sarnowski, we saw him with a couple of tackles like that on the head or neck, which obviously is something you would expect to be unacceptable, but no flag on that. But it is going to come back and hurt the Show Low Cougars.
So after they sort things out, I think Van Winkle, I don't think Van Winkle can even be on the sideline. If I understand correctly, he has to leave the sideline, if I understand correctly.
Well, you know, you look about the time right now that we're spending on this, a lot of time on the field with no action. Coaches out there talking about it, trying to make sure they get an opportunity to voice their opinions and see if maybe they can swing this thing. But
well, you can see both coaches have been brought to the center of the field. We'll see if we can get a shot of the coaches meeting with the officials here, as we've been watching Van Winkle surrounded by his team. But there you see Coach Reisdorf, Coach Swartwood talking things over with the officials, and the officials not happy with the way this first half of this football game has been played. And Coach Reisdorf obviously not happy with the situation. Coach Swartwood not happy with the situation. There's obviously, and there's the thing about this is there's a lot of things that are being said and done that neither the officials or us have seen so far. And looks like the Cougars are going to call a timeout. The officials are asking for the Show Low team to move back towards their sideline, and this is one of the longest delays I've ever seen for a penalty.
Yeah, obviously there's not a good outcome going to come out of this, more than likely. You can't, probably take the call back, but again, it sends a message. It sends a message to all your players out there. You got to be prepared because, we saw this Payson Longhorn team against the Snowflake Lobos, and it seemed like there was some stuff going on the field that wasn't maybe on the up and up, and we'll see what happens.
We're going to see Van Winkle being escorted off here as the officials continue to talk things over with Reisdorf. He called that timeout specifically to have a chance to spend more time talking. There's Van Winkle as he's going to be escorted to the locker room, the field house, as the Show Low Cougars will be without Van Winkle for tonight and next week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they're playing the winner of Safford, Australia Foothills. You would expect, obviously, Van Winkle's a guy you want on the field. Hopefully you get a few other guys back. Coach Reisdorf and his staff, they're going to do a good job getting control of this, and hopefully the officials as well.
Back to action. Here's a snap. Maxwell to throw, and he's got his man. No, picked up by Harp at the 30, 35, 40, and Harp will take it back to the line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line, 45-yard line rather. Dean Harp.
And that's hard for any team to do. Take a long break, come back, try to throw the ball on a crossing route across the middle, and just made a bad throw. Maxwell did. Payson Longhorns, Dean Harp does a nice job reading it, steps in, makes the catch, and runs it around the right side for a nice field position for the Longhorns all the way out to their 42.
Mike Granillo talked about the expertise with which the Cougars came out in the first quarter and were able to conduct business. But after a couple of mistakes here, you start to feel a momentum shift as the Cougars, though, are fired up, and they're going to stop that one at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I would expect this. It's going to be physical play on both sides, but when you talk about momentum, even though the Payson Longhorns come up with that turnover, hopefully you just stay in control. Don't try to do too much on defense, but the Show Low Cougars definitely a better team. They got off to a great start, 20-0. The fiasco out there, hopefully the officials take control of it. They watched the tackling that's going on out there, and it gets back on track.
Here's the snap, play action, option, and Mendoza turns it upfield. The marker is thrown, penalty marker thrown at the 46-yard line. Rusty Allen on the stop as Mendoza gets it to the 46, call it the 47. And the Cougars were only penalized twice last week for 25 yards. And already we've seen the hanky fly more than that tonight.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be against the Longhorns. And again, right now, the officials are going to try to take control of this game, get it back because of the chippiness, as Mike Granillo put it, out on the field. And again, you can expect they are watching, ready to throw the flag. And that time, Payson Longhorns got caught.
9:59 left to play, second quarter, and it's 20-0 in favor of the Show Low Cougars. A second down, though, after the penalty at 2nd and 16, call it 2nd and 15. And now the officials blow this one dead and remark it. I guess it was about an inch off. At the Longhorn 36, Mendoza under center. Play action. Comes near sideline. Caught. And knocked down at the 50. Bowen Sweeney on the reception. Close to a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down at the Longhorn 49.
Bowen Sweeney, a junior, does a nice job making a tough catch in a tough spot right in front of the Show Low bench. Immediately met and hit, but a nice throw by Mendoza as well. Put it right where it needed to be.
Harp checking back into the lineup for the Longhorns. Clock approaching the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. The Longhorns have a manageable 3rd down and 2. They need to get to the Cougar 49 for the first down. Mendoza, I-tandem in the backfield. Takes a snap, going to keep it himself, going to be knocked backwards. He got across the 50-yard line, but I think he's short of a first down. Marky Potter on the stop.
Eyes like a hawk. I think you're right. I think it is short. Camden Smith, good call. It's right out in front of us, so big fella still can see.
Let's go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Well, I tell you what, Camden, the chippiness still continues out there. Some guys are talking, but the Show Low Cougars were definitely ready for that one. It's very impressive in that 3-4 front to be able to stack the line of scrimmage the way they do. The linebackers' closing speed to get to the ball carrier is very impressive, and able to get to Mendoza right before he got to the first down marker.
And it will be shy by an inch.
Big fella still got it, can see from all the way up here. You know, I'm going to tell you something. That's a 50-50 chance. You ought to go buy a lottery ticket because you got pretty lucky on that one.
Well, I'm not sure. Oh, they're going to remeasure. Yeah, that's they're going to remeasure here.
You know, that inch is going to haunt them. They reset on this drive after the penalty, and
that's right.
They reset it an inch, and it worked out.
Fourth down and an inch, and the Longhorns in a huddle looking like they may be going for it here on fourth down. They'll send Harp wide to the far side of the set.
Hard count.
Sarnowski
be sure to stay
near
home.
side. Mendoza under center. Long snap count, and there's a jump off sides. Austin Daniels came over into the neutral zone, and the hard snap count, you called it, Bill, goes against the Cougars in a easy first down, 5 the easy way.
They coach those guys. Again, defense, you know, sometimes not the smartest guys, so you got to coach them. It's all about movement. You go on ball, nothing else, don't listen, just watch ball. That time, it's too hard to fight it. And again, you mentioned how quick, or Mike did, how quick the defense comes up and fills from the linebackers. That's part of it. They anticipate. That anticipation just cost them a first down.
Under center, Mendoza takes a snap, looks left and fires right. Harp hit, and a marker thrown in the backfield. They say incomplete on the pass. Harp is hurt. He's down at the 42. He had the catch and was hit from behind, and it looked like he got bent backwards that time.
I think there's going to be a penalty, though. I think it's on Marky Potter. I think Marky Potter maybe got caught.
Look at this hit. Huge hit there to knock the ball loose. A terrific play defensively for the Show Low Cougars, but it's going to be negated as Damian Sharp came up to make the play.
Well, what a shot by Damian Potter, but again, Marky, Damian Sharp, but Marky Potter comes up and just got a little over aggressive, and that's something you got to, like, on the defensive end standpoint, you got to keep your cool, be smart about the plays you make.
So Marky Potter with hands to the face, and a personal foul is called, and now another delay here as the official said the ball wasn't set for play, I guess. First down and 10. Mendoza under center with an eye set behind him. Handed off to the second man. Chapman bounces off the tackle, then goes outfield, or out the outside, turns it upfield, close to a first down on the far sideline. As the Payson Longhorns do a terrific job of picking up great yardage on first down.
And I think that's where you see the speed of Chapman around the right side. Once he gets outside the edge, he's got the speed. He can turn it on the afterburners, and he's quickly down the field. Does a nice job picking up 9 yards, and a big shot on Rove. You mentioned it. Coming in, Sarnowski, again, one of those guys that's been taking shots. We'll see what happens.
Sarnowski to throw, far side, and it is incomplete. Or excuse me, Mendoza to throw. Intended for Sarnowski, and overthrows Sarnowski. Brings up third down. Let's check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Thanks, Camden. The Cougars are starting to self-destruct a little bit. The emotions are running high on the Cougars sideline. Marky Potter, as he came off the field after getting called for that hands to the face penalty, threw down his helmet. I heard it before I saw it, and he is very upset, and he's talking to Cougars. Got to regroup a little bit here and get back to business. Back to you.
3rd down and 1. Mendoza takes the snap, fakes the pitch, handed off to Chapman. Chapman has a first down across the 25. Tackled by Crandall. Good for a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down.
And again, good job by the Payson Longhorns taking advantage of the unnerved play right now of the Show Low Cougars. I will say, I don't know that they're imploding, though. They're still up 20-0 here in the midway in the second quarter. But what I do think is going to happen, teams that are tougher than the Longhorns can see this, and maybe you want to make sure you get control. Don't want to give some other teams some opportunity.
Mendoza to pass, far sideline, has a man open, but it is overthrown. Sarnowski, it looked like it was thrown into double coverage as Kobe Maxwell came over, and Dean Sharp. There wasn't much room for that pass, but it was incomplete. I believe if he'd have thrown it short, he may have had a better shot at it.
Well, Dean Sharp makes a nice play, and again, earlier we saw him trip and stumble. The only thing is right now Mendoza, we've seen him make those nice touch passes. That time overthrows.
And we get another dead ball here, and a timeout called by the Payson Longhorns with 7:04 left to play before half. 20-0 Cougars. We'll keep it here. And a chance to talk a little bit about the playoffs coming up. There's some good things happening all over the place as you look at tournament brackets around the state.
Let's look.
The Cougars, of course, with a win here tonight, would advance to play next week in the quarterfinals. They'll face the winner of the Safford Australia game. The Yellow Jackets, who are out on top of Monument Valley, 42-7 rather, at the half. Look like they're going to beat Monument Valley tonight, and they'll get a chance to play presumably Coolidge next week, who has a game against the number 12 seed Fountain Hills. Also down in the lower bracket, the Snowflake Lobos play tomorrow at 2 p.m. against Rio Rico. They'll play the winner of River Valley Page, assuming that Snowflake beats Rio Rico, which they should. We'll have more on that in a moment as Mendoza on 2nd and 10 throws right side and just overthrows Sarnowski.
And we mentioned it earlier, I think it's that pressure. We saw Dallin Crandall come in and really take a shot on Mendoza early, or very quickly, pressure from the outside. You're seeing Mendoza now really rushing his throws. That time he overthrows Sarnowski, just a quick pitch. Where we've seen him make good throws, it seems like he's really been making some bad throws now, overthrowing.
Looks like the Cougars warming up Caleb Farr here on the near sideline as Kobe Maxwell and Farr play catch with him. And a huge hit here, but the ball almost picked off as the Cougars do a terrific job in the end zone.
I think that was great play all the way around. We saw pressure on Mendoza. As soon as he's released, he's knocked to the ground. We see one defender go up, tip the ball. As they do, it's a tip drill. Another defender comes in and tries to make the interception. Great job by the Show Low Cougars. Overall defensive play.
We'll see the replay here as Fawcett
tipped it,
and it looked like Rove almost picked it up off the turf there, but a huge hit by Terrence Bridges.
And he let up a little bit. You see him, he stopped as soon as he made the shot. No penalty on the play.
As Mendoza was a bit shaken, now he's going to be dumped for a loss.
And again, it's Dallin Crandall.
Second sack of the afternoon or the evening.
Does a great job again, coming from the outside edge. Just comes in and attacks Mendoza, brings him down before Mendoza can even turn around.
6:49 left to play before halftime. Cougars lead 20-0, and the Longhorns turn it over on downs at the Cougar 30-yard line. Looks like Maxwell's going to come out and QB here.
You mentioned Farr warming up on the sidelines. we had an opportunity to watch him down in the valley, and he did a great job. We would expect to see him this afternoon or in the
There's
second
a
half.
handoff. Rove has some room, picks his way through traffic. First down and more out to midfield as Bryce Rove picks up a Mountain Comfort heating and cooling first down.
That's why that backfield does such a great job. It's so fun to watch. Dallin Crandall, a physical north-south guy. Rove, a speed guy, makes guys miss quickly into the secondary of the Longhorns.
Hand it off to Rove here. And Rove across midfield has a couple on first down.
Even good pressure that time by the Longhorns. Rove's always falling forward, getting those positive yards on what was nothing.
Maxwell takes the snap, hand to Rove. Off tackle left side, and Rove still on his feet. First down out to the 40, call it the 36-yard line, as Bryce Rove dancing his way down to pick up a Lacey Weeks at Wallach & Bulk Mortgage. First down.
And credit Willie Wyatt as well, blocking out in front, does a great job. But Rove really sets up blocks, very patient runner, really cuts back inside to bounce outside. Nice bit of running.
Two receivers to the right, hand it off straight ahead, and up over a tackler this time. And a nice little run. I didn't see who the handoff was that time. Was that Crandall?
I think it's Dallin Crandall. We've seen him before. Literally leaping over guys, trying to get those explosive extra yards at the end. Finishes strong. And again, the Show Low Cougars on the roll right now.
Cougars with the no huddle. Two receivers to the right. Single slot to the right side. Hand to Crandall. Crandall, first down and more. He slips a tackle at the 15, and he rolls to the 10-yard line. A Mountain Comfort heating and cooling first down for the Cougars. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, a Kopanicki communication station. First down and goal for Show Low inside the 10. Rove, the single back in the backfield, hand to him, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward across the 10 to the 9-yard line, back to the, well, maybe about a half a yard on the play. Trevor Anderson makes the tackle for the Payson Longhorns.
And again, the tempo of the Show Low Cougars, it's like you can see it really picking up. They really press this defense.
And Fawcett on the reception has the touchdown for the Cougars, a third tonight for Jaron Fawcett.
And credit Maxwell, what a great touch pass on that, throws it to the far corner in the end zone, and Fawcett does a nice job clearing the defender and comes up, makes a nice catch before he goes out of bounds.
On to try the point after try is Borrego. Borrego will punch it through, but a penalty marker is thrown.
You say penalty marker, I say flag.
Hanky, penalty marker, tissue, laundry.
Exactly, whatever. Penalty marker.
A little bit of yellow zebra left over.
Absolutely.
This has not been a very clean first half.
Well, I think obviously Van Winkle's a big hit for the Show Low Cougar team. If it's going to happen, this is the time. If he's going to sit out next week, you definitely want to have him. The deeper you get into this thing, he's a force on the field that you want to have on your team.
So Borrego, after the penalty, I believe a procedure call, marks him back. Ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line, and it was wide to the left.
Pulled it a little bit that time. Just got a little over anxious. Plenty of foot, just pulls it.
And after 4:47 left in the second quarter, the Show Low Cougars lead it 26-0. We'll step away. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football. High school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
Welcome back. It's the Cougars on top 26-0, up by 4 touchdowns here against the Longhorns of Payson with 4:41 left to play in the first half. And we got a scoring update for you with Royce Kincannon. We'll try to get to that here in just a moment with scores from around the state on round 1 of Division IV playoff night. Awkward sets to the left this time as they hand it to Skinner straight ahead. Not much there. Let's go back to the studio and check in with Royce Kincannon. Royce?
All right, scores from around Division IV football tonight. There are 3 games. Estrella Foothills 20, Safford 7. Blue Ridge 56, Monument Valley 7. Division V football, you've got Round Valley Elks 26 and Benson 0. And your score here at Show Low is 26-0. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Royce. It's the pass is complete to Sarnowski at the 40-yard line. And a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down.
Rice Rovet.
4 minutes left to play in the half, 26-0. Cougars lead, but the Longhorns have shown that they can move the football.
And I think you talked about it earlier. A young team, they do a nice job when it works. It works nicely right now, keeping this drive alive.
Option right, pitch it to Chapman. Chapman lowers his shoulder and fights his way across the 40-yard line. We'll check in with Brandon Todd in a moment and get kind of a sense for the atmosphere on that Payson Longhorn sideline. But it was all Show Low in the first quarter, scoring the first 3 touchdowns. It seemed like the Payson Longhorns were going to fold up their tents and go home.
Well, all that emotional stuff going out on the field, all those penalty markers we saw really helped the Payson Longhorns for a little while.
Quick throw on a slant, overthrown, picked off. Picked off on the near sideline. Fawcett having a terrific game tonight, takes it back to the Payson Longhorn 18-yard line, and Jerome Fawcett sitting there playing center field makes the interception, or rather Jerome Fawcett, I should say, makes the interception and gives the Cougars excellent field position inside the red zone.
Jerome Fawcett, obviously a lot of pressure because you're right in front of your bench, does a nice job out in the open, just makes a nice catch and run. And the Payson Longhorns do manage to catch him, knock him out of bounds before he got into the end zone. Chapman, I think, on the stop, but Show Low Cougars with great field position.
Cougars at the Longhorn 18-yard line. Maxwell to throw, has his man caught just shy of the 10-yard line at the, looks like Garrett Means on the catch at the 11-yard line. Let's check in with Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Well, Camden, it's no surprise that the energy on the Payson Longhorn side is dull, I guess you could say. There's not much to be excited about. After that interception, after the long pause, after all those penalties, things were going nuts over here. The interception, they put together a good drive, and then the 4th down turnover, not much to be excited about over here.
Thanks, Brandon. It's Jerome Fawcett. Or excuse me, Stephen Curry on the reception. Takes it inside the 5, is trying to get to the end zone, was pushed out of bounds at the 3, but a penalty marker thrown. And I think this one's coming back. Let's check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Well, Ken, I thought it was an offsides penalty, but obviously there was some movement on the Show Low side that caused the offsides penalty. So, boy, Show Low again, as you mentioned, when they started off that first quarter, that was a textbook how you want to come out in the first round of the playoffs. But since then, they've just had a few mistakes that I'm sure Coach Reisdorf will talk about at halftime about cleaning up.
Thanks, Mike. Obviously, not fun to play the same team twice in a season, much less twice in 2 weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And again, this team a little bit chippy. You got to be smart and careful.
There's a fumble. Maxwell going to be hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Youngberg in on the stop and knocked down at the 20-yard line.
And really, Rove does a nice job. Looks like his arm's a little bit sore, but does a great job just coming up with the ball. Looked like there was a mess.
Show Low Cougars with it. 3rd down and 10. Set a man in motion out of the backfield. I believe that's Rove. And Maxwell looking to throw. Looks downfield, has his man. It is caught at the 6-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Stephon Curry on the reception for the Cougars.
And right, again, rolling right. Maxwell really threw that on a line right at the sideline. Curry does a nice job getting the ball, catching the ball, and then stepping out of bounds. Show Low Cougars now 1st and goal.
Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling 1st down. Hand it off. Rove, he's in for the score. Touchdown, Cougars, with 1:45 left to play before halftime.
Again, just a great little run by Rove. Cuts it back at the last second. Just a hard guy to bring down. Big guys in front, kind of clearing the way. Nice job by that front.
Set to hold is Caleb Farr. Borrego on for the point after try. And a botch snap again. This one going to be picked up. And he fell down. He didn't have a chance to run it back. It was picked off the ground that time by William Youngberg, but not an opportunity to run it back. 2 bad snaps in a row on point after try. So the Cougars a little bit sloppy on special teams tonight. But they lead it 32-0. We'll keep it here with 1:46 left to play before halftime. Don't forget, coming up next week, and of course tomorrow, a chance to watch a great game over in Snowflake. If you get a chance, Lobos will be facing Rio Rico. Should be a pretty easy win for Snowflake tomorrow. They will likely advance to next week's contest and face the winner of the number 6 River Valley and number 11 Page game. We'll try to get a score on that one for you in a moment. Also in the lower half of that bracket, Sarita and Winslow facing off tonight along with Combs and Seton Catholic. The Sentinels lost to the Lobos early on in the season and will likely face the Lobos in the semifinals, and that one will be a great rematch.
Well, you bet. And for the Lobos, don't think ahead. Just stay strong going through this playoff. Hit your peak right at the, and again, beating Seton Catholic earlier, you know, it's no easy task beating a team twice, especially when it was that close. But Snowflake Lobos, we have to be impressed by their talent.
Looks like they've got some room to run on the outside. Flake bounced it to the outside. I thought that went up the middle that time.
No, it bounced outside, but late penalty at the end on the tackle. I think it's for tackling with your head, leading with the head.
Yeah, you can see on the replay, he got hit in the pile and then bounced outside. Stiffs arms a tackle, gets around the edge, and Borrego, the kicker, has to come and make the tackle, and we get a helmet-to-helmet contact called.
They're waving it off. You know what they decided? Well, I'm not sure. It looked like the running back actually led as much, but I don't think kickers can lead with their head because they're not known for that. They're not really known for tackling. Give Donnie Borrego.
He did a good job.
Very physical play. He must not be a kicker on the inside. He doesn't realize they're not supposed to tackle like that.
Well, he does do a terrific job of making the tackle, but not before. The Longhorns will have excellent field position at their 39. Option left, pitch to Chapman, turns it up at the 40, 45, midfield, spun around, and knocked down by Rusty Allen after a Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Volk Mortgage. First down at the Cougar 47.
Chapman does a nice job again, the quick pitch, but he cuts it back inside, and a couple misses by the Show Low Cougars, and now the Payson Longhorns get into Cougar territory. But a nice little job on the option. Again, pressure coming from the outside, really forcing Mendoza to pitch early.
Wide receivers left and right. Mendoza under center on first down. Handed off to Chapman. Second man through on the left side. Chapman off tackle left side, and he'll be knocked down by Rusty Allen.
Starvos Castillo does a nice job, right defensive end for the Show Low Cougars. So he not only gets rid of the block, makes the tackle. Nice job by Starvos.
After a gain of 2, it's second down and 8. At the Cougar 44. Mendoza sends 2 receivers here to the near side. Will pitch it to Chapman. Chapman spins out of a tackle, gets to the 40, tries to shed another tackle as he carries a tackler with him to the 37-yard line, and a penalty marker thrown back at the 43.
And really, Terrence Bridges that time for the Show Low Cougars. He cannot arm tackle, tries to come up from his inside linebacker position. Does a great job reading it, but you got to finish. Big fella tried to arm tackle, can't do that. Spins off and gets those yards inside.
See the hold there. And then, as you mentioned, Chapman, an elusive back to bring down, but unfortunately for the Longhorns, this one coming back due to the hold call. And a second down and 14. If you get a chance, check out this game. You can watch it right now live at italk1067.com. Also, you can watch this game at City 4 TV next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7, and then again on Saturday at 1:30. Pitch to Chapman, sweep right side, turns it up at the 45, and has the football down at the 40-yard line. Garrett Means on the tackle, and that'll end the first half. Show Low doing a terrific job in the first half, has the lead at intermission, 32-0. We'll be back with our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show when we return. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football, high school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing.
We have about 65 seconds.
Become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
It is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. Mike Granillo here with Brandon Todd, and Brandon doing our best to stay warm on a somewhat chilly night. Not too cold, but do you think that's had any effect on the score so far tonight? I should mention Show Low's up 32-0 over the Payson Longhorns.
Actually, I think we feel the cold more than those guys do out on the field. As a player, when it was cold, you feel it before the game, but as soon as that first snap, you have no idea. Personally, though, on a personal note, I feel great. This hat is legit. I'm surprised. I don't know why I waited this long to finally put it on.
I'm surprised they let you in the stadium with that thing on, but it is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. Sunrise Park Resort is making snow nightly up there at Sunrise. They plan on opening Thanksgiving weekend, so exciting time for Sunrise Park Resort. Our score is 32-0, and you can check out the snow conditions on sunriseparkresort.com. Our score again, 32-0 here. Show Low over the Longhorns. And Brandon, it was a big first quarter for the Show Low Cougars. They came out, put up 3 quick scores. But since then, Payson has really been able to keep themselves in this, put together a few drives, ended in turnovers, 2 interceptions and a turnover on downs. But Payson kind of shook things up there a little bit in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, we expected Show Low to come out and score quickly and come out to a big lead. And I think, they would have continued if it hadn't been for that break,
the ugliness.
Yeah, the chirpiness and the 5 penalties, and then we were getting kicked out, because then right after that, Show Low turns over the ball with an interception. And I think that breathed new life into Payson. I was over on the sidelines, and they were going crazy. They were excited. They put together a great drive, like you said, though, ended in a 4-down turnover. But I suspect that the Show Low Cougars are getting a talking to, and they're going to come out just as fired up as they were at the beginning of the game.
Well, there will not be the I guess you'd call it the mercy part of this second half. Last week, the Cougars put up 8 touchdowns against the Payson Longhorns in the first half. Only put up 5 so far here tonight, so it's kind of like game on in the second half, and especially after the incident between Sarnowski and Van Winkle. Is it Van Winkle? Yes, Van Winkle. I'm sure that, as you said, the Cougars are going to be fired up to come out here, and probably they need to work on some execution as well.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, they have a bunch of they have already people out with injury, and now with Van Winkle being thrown out of the game, they just have to replace him with one more non-starter. So I think there's some holes that Payson might be able to, or that are exposing, and so hopefully their Cougars are in there at the drawing board, as you say, and trying to figure out how to fill those holes created by those injuries.
Well, a couple of guys have stepped up big for the Cougars. In case you didn't catch it earlier in the evening, Brent Van Winkle has been ejected from this contest. He drew 2 personal foul penalties. Had a little too much to say to both Sarnowski, which rightly so. Sarnowski had a pretty ugly tackle on him, but then said something to the coaching staff, made a gesture to the Payson Longhorn coaching staff, and was thus ejected. But been an interesting one since that point. But it should be a lot of fun here in the second half as Nathan Reisdorf, he drops his football over here. Brandon Todd will get it for him there.
I'm going to hold it.
He's going to hold on to it there for the camera. You are listening to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. It's liable to get interesting here, so we're going to take a quick break and come back with more stats and more insight into the first half and what's to come in the second half right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be right back.
My friend Alex was diagnosed with cancer. I put on a concert with tons of other kids so they could help raise money and lift his spirits.
It's a very good feeling to volunteer.
Kids can really make a difference.
Helping other people in my community.
To do something bigger than myself.
Start at a young age and keep promoting the spirit of volunteerism as you go throughout your life.
Young students make a big difference when they volunteer. Encourage them to learn more about the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. Visit spirit.prudential.com.
My friend Alex was diagnosed with cancer. I put on a concert with tons of other kids so they could help raise money and lift his spirits.
It's a very good feeling to volunteer.
Kids can really make a difference.
Helping other people in my community.
To do something bigger than myself.
Rewarding.
Every story touches home. Even if it's not your own cause, it becomes yours when you help people.
I organized a food drive so they could have a warm meal every day.
The people next door to us might have big struggles.
Change someone's life and make someone's day.
When I help out, I get this warm feeling in my heart.
If you have a giving heart, you need to give as much as possible.
Step out and help someone else and just help make the world a better place.
Seeing garbage in road ditches and in city parks motivated me to clean up trash.
If it's the right thing to do, then go ahead and do it.
You should always volunteer, whether it's big or small.
Start at a young age and keep promoting the spirit of volunteerism as you go throughout your life.
Young students make a big difference when they volunteer. Encourage them to learn more about the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. Visit spirit.prudential.com.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
Welcome back to Show Low High School, the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. The Cougars on top of the Payson Longhorns, 32-0. Here, the Payson Longhorns have been close but could not get into the end zone. And it's an exciting night in high school football as the playoffs have begun. And with that, we're going to go back to the studio and check in with Royce Kincannon for a scoring update. Royce?
Thank you, Mike. We've got scores from around Division 4 football tonight. The Estrella Foothills 28, Stafford 14. Blue Ridge in a final, 59-7 over Monument Valley. That's Paul Morrow's 315th victory in his career. In Division 5, we have Round Valley 33 and Benson 0. And your game of the week right now, the Show Low Cougars 32 and Payson 0. Back to you, Mike.
Royce and Brandon, not too many surprises so far. Not a lot of games being played tonight in Division 4 playoffs. Most of those games will take place tomorrow, but probably the game, the most hotly contested game is probably going to be that Estrella Foothills Safford game, the 8-9 game. Got nothing to say about that?
Yeah, I got nothing.
His brain, the hat is not helping the brain out a whole lot.
I apologize. I got nothing to say about that. I'll agree. You're absolutely right, Mike. You're absolutely right.
Well, and the competition that those two teams are facing tonight, they get the winner of this game, which most likely will be the Show Low Cougars. So it'll be a good test for Show Low next week, having one of those two teams to take on next week.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, congratulations to all three of the teams up on the mountain. Looks like they're all three going to, hopefully, with that game tomorrow, and that this game ends up like we think, are all going to advance to the quarterfinals. So that's exciting. And you're right. We're looking forward to a team that can step up and possibly stop Show Low's offense, and hopefully next week is a better game, and we're looking forward to a good contest all the way through the tournament.
It should be exciting. Snowflake does take on Rio Rico tomorrow at 2 o'clock over at Snowflake High School. If you get a chance, go check that one out. It'll be a little warmer, mid-60s tomorrow. Also some other good games. Seton Catholic taking on Combs. Seton Catholic, we'll see how they have improved throughout the season as we saw them in, I think, week 2. And a lot of other good games, and you'll be able to check out the scores and see how things have progressed on the AIAonline.org website. They have all that for you. And we're here on the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, and we want to take a look at the numbers from the first half. Could be interesting. Payson able to put together some yards, have no points to show for it. But with a deeper look into that one, we're going to go upstairs and turn it over to Mike Colwell. Mike?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, Payson they have done a little bit better than last week. They rushed for, 22 carries for 55 yards. They've really limited Chapman for most of the half. He's only got 11 carries for 33 yards. Skinner followed it up with 7 carries for 19 yards for a total of 55 yards. Mendoza, 6 of 15 for 69 yards passing. Unfortunately, has 2 interceptions, and we also got another turnover by Chapman and a fumble. So Show Low held Payson to 124 yards, and again, scoreless. On the Show Low side, they've had, of course, a lot more success. We've got Crandall leading the way, rushing with 5 carries for 57 yards. Rove, 6 carries for 52 yards. for a total of 116 yards rushing. Maxwell's really been efficient, 7 of 9 for 112 yards and 3 TDs. And Fawcett is leading the way with the reception. He has 2 receptions for 78 yards and 2 TDs. Rove has added 1 catch for a TD, and that was 10 yards. The total for Show Low for the half is 228 yards and no turnovers. Back to you, Mike.
Mike, and we get a little infusion of the speakers here. The speakers tonight, I don't know if anybody has any in with the PA announcer, but if you could beg with him to turn that down. It's really loud down here on the field. I guess they're going to playoff form as well.
Well, loud's an understatement, Mike. I mean, it's so loud that I literally can't hear myself talk right now. It doesn't help that there's a speaker right there, but yeah, it'd help if you could turn it down a few notches. If I heard Mike correctly, Mike Caldwell said there were no turnovers on Show Low side. There was actually one. Yeah, there was one turnover. Yeah, but I mean, good job for them. With protecting the ball. They've gone to the air plenty of times, and so great job by Show Low Cougars holding on to the ball.
Well, and really a big game tonight so far for Jerem Fawcett, perhaps making a case for the Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game, which will be coming up on our post-game show. But 3 big touchdown catches and 2 interceptions for Fawcett, kind of helping take the place of some of those other big guys that are missing, Trevor Solomon, Quentin Clark, and now, of course, Brett Van Winkle.
Well, that's absolutely right. I mean, what a great game by him in the first round of the playoffs, coming up big on both sides of the ball. And it's really a spark on both sides of the ball when you have that one guy who you can key off on the offensive side, and then the guy on the defensive who makes the same plays. And so you're absolutely right. Probably right now the leading candidate for that player of the game.
All right, it is the Show Low Cougars on top of the Payson Longhorns, 32-0 here at Show Low High School in round 1 of the Division IV state playoffs. That's going to do it here for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. When we come back, second half action with Camden Smith and Bill London. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football. High school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
My friend Alex was diagnosed with cancer, so I put on a concert with tons of other kids so they could help raise money and lift his spirits.
It's a very good feeling to volunteer.
Kids can really make a difference.
Helping other people in my community.
To do something bigger than myself.
Rewarding.
Every story touches home. Even if it's not your own cause, it becomes yours when you help people.
I organized a food drive so they could have a warm meal every day.
The people next door to us might have big struggles.
Change someone's life and make someone's day.
When I help out, I get this warm feeling in my heart.
If you have a giving heart, you need to give as much as possible.
Step out and help someone else and just help make the world a better place.
Seeing garbage in road ditches and in city parks motivated me to clean up trash.
If it's the right thing to do, then go ahead and do it.
You should always volunteer, whether it's big or small.
Start at a young age and keep promoting the spirit of volunteerism as you go throughout your life.
Young students make a big difference when they volunteer. Encourage them to learn more about the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. Visit spirit.prudential.com.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
Welcome back to Show Low High School as we get set for the second half. Camden Smith, Mike Side with Bill London.
I'm so sorry.
Looking for a big second half for the Payson Longhorns here, Bill, to make this game interesting.
I'm not looking for that, but I am going to say,
What do you mean you're not looking for that?
32-0.
What does that mean?
It means that
you don't think it's going to happen, but you want it to happen, don't you?
No, absolutely not. What I'd like to do is see some players. It's a great opportunity to get some other guys some play time. Show Low Cougars got some great players that are going to be playing next year. I want to get them on the field, some field time.
Well, I agree with you in that respect, but I also would like to see this Show Low Cougar team or this Payson Longhorn team put some points up and make this game a little more respectable.
Well, respectable. So far, they're doing a good job. Only down 32-0. Hey, let's not kid ourselves. This is a tough Show Low Cougar team. We saw a lot of time wasted in between all the fiasco of the penalties and ejections and all that good stuff. This is almost like NASCAR. You know, guys going at it. Very, physical type play, I would expect. But ultimately, the Show Low Cougars are going to move on. We want to get through this thing, make sure their kids are healthy and they're eligible. And obviously, first half, Van Winkle gets kicked out. That'll not only hurt you for this game, but next week, and that's really where you really get hurt.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I don't want Show Low to lose, but I do want to see a more competitive second half.
I'd like to see some great scoring, some wild plays, and very creative, and then physical play on defense.
Hey, coming up tomorrow, don't forget there is
maybe a little mud wrestling out there.
Football's not the only event going on in the state as far as playoffs go.
You're not talking soccer, are you?
I'm talking soccer.
Yep. You know what? The semifinals were tonight. And then the championships tomorrow afternoon in Scottsdale.
Yeah, Blue Ridge and Wilcox faced off tonight. We hope we can get a score for you on that. I think Royce Kincannon's trying to.
He can't. There's not a score he cannot get.
That's right.
He owes money on every game.
Started at 7 o'clock tonight. The Show Low Chino Valley game should be pretty close to over. So it was.
It could be an all White Mountain final.
Final, yeah. We're hoping to have that. That's scheduled for tomorrow. Here's the kickoff. Borrego's kick into the end zone.
Hey, that Chino Valley team's a tough team, though. And we'll see Show Low got their work cut out for them, although, again, some solid athletes, great athletes, just like you're on the football field.
Also, girls soccer going on. River Valley and Blue Ridge tomorrow for the state championship game. That one's scheduled to get started, get underway at 12 p.m. at noon at Campo Verde High School.
Yep.
And in volleyball, the first round of the state playoffs started tonight. Snowflakes in the tournament along with Holbrook. Safford and Empire faced off tonight. Blue Ridge and Cactus also playing tonight. We will await the results of that tournament continuing into the quarterfinals. Rest quarterfinals playing tonight, and then of course semifinals and finals tomorrow. That complete tournament done in just 2 days.
These girls really get after it.
Penalty marker thrown, and a chop block is called here.
That's the first play of the second half. Maybe an indicator of what to expect. We talked about it. Physical play. That time just a block that's not legal.
10-yard line, replaying first down.
But the officials do a nice job jumping on it, throwing the flag, sending a message.
Half the distance to the goal line. Ball marked back to the 10-yard line. Jackets with their win secure a second-round berth into the playoffs. We are hoping for a Show Low Blue Ridge rematch in the semifinals. Chapman runs over a Cougar defender and then throws the ball forward. He better be careful.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. That penalty came back to haunt the Cougars, but nice physical run by Chapman. Drops his shoulder, finishes strong. A lot of speed guys. You wouldn't expect to see that, but nice job by Chapman running off the left side.
See the replay there, and Chapman getting the better of Daniels there, but Daniels holding on to make the tackle. That's the important thing. Second down and 14. Pitch to Chapman. Rusty Allen wrapping him up in the backfield. He'll fight his way to the 15.
Rusty Allen does a great job taking on a block, still manages to get enough penetration, turns it back, but also gets rid of the block, sheds it, wraps up, and hangs on. Does an outstanding job.
Opening paragraph, third quarter, Cougars lead 32-0.
An update there, Show Low Soccer lost to Chino Valley 3-1 in a heartbreaker.
Second down and 15 now for the Longhorns. A trip set to the left. Mendoza to throw, comes to the right side. Youngberg, the tight end, catches it at the 30-yard line. Close to a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling. First down, Rove on the tackle.
Well, Youngberg manages to hang on to it again. Looked like we were kind of playing the ball that time. Couldn't come up with it. Youngberg manages to hang on, cradle that ball.
Get your freaking head up, make it tackle.
Little bit of animation on the sideline. And again, a lot of game left. Coach, a little bit of coaching up going on. You can hear it on our effects mic down on the sideline.
There's the snap. Mendoza, option left. He's going to be dropped. That option hasn't looked real pretty tonight.
Well, you know, again, Show Low Cougars not caught off or expecting the option, really defending it well. Stavros Castillos in there on the set does a nice job. Sounds like Blue Ridge and Wilcox in soccer still playing. 4-1. Blue Ridge is up.
There's the snap, handed off Chapman. Chapman with a lot of room. Tripped up at midfield, falls forward, has a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down at the Cougar 45-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 44.
Great job by Rusty Allen to make the stop. Again, no easy thing. Chapman in the open field. You can see him with that stride, really eats up grass. Does a nice job getting that first down into Show Low Cougar territory.
There's movement in the backfield. Chapman took a step, knew he had missed the snap count, and he tried to freeze in hopes that the officials didn't see him.
Well, and actually a lot of times what they should do is just go in motion. If you jump, just go in motion. But Chapman, only a sophomore, maybe makes a sophomore play on that one. A little bit excited after that last drive.
First down and 15. Chapman off tackle left side, back to the line of scrimmage. Stavros Castillo on the tackle for the Cougars.
And again, good tackle by Stavros, but it's no easy job when Chapman's got some momentum. You can see him, he's falling forward, driving Stavros forward. Chapman's got a little bit of power. You know, he doesn't look like it. He's kind of a tall, lean-looking runner, or a lean-looking runner, but does a nice job, finishes strong.
Daniel Lust checking into the Cougar lineup.
Sarnowski to the near side.
Option right, Mendoza pitches at the very last moment. Not much room, though, to turn the corner for Chapman. Rove on the stop.
Yeah, Chapman, unfortunately, comes up with, there's nothing worse on an option. Instead of a pitch, it's a handoff. It makes it easy for the defense to defend. Nice job by the Show Low Cougars. And again, Chapman, with all that speed, driven out of bounds after just a few yards.
Spacing was interrupted in two ways. First of all, Chapman was running out of room at the sideline, and then Mendoza getting hit knocked him backwards to interrupt that play. Third down and 8. Mendoza to throw to Sarnowski in between defenders, and he can't hang on to it. Would have been good for a first down had he hung on to it at the 30-yard line. But
Garrett Means in on the stop. Nice little job. Again, Mendoza really put the ball in a good spot. Sarnowski, as you mentioned, couldn't hang on to it, but a tough shot. He delivered a good blow, and that's probably the reason why he didn't hang on.
Fourth down. And Hart back to punt.
You know, these Payson Longhorns almost have that old Minnesota Viking look on them.
Stands at the Longhorn 47, gets off a wobbly punt that'll be angled to the far sideline. Takes a nice Payson Longhorn roll, though, inside the 20. And we'll be down at the 16.
Nice job on the kick again for just a directional kick, trying to get it out of bounds, really trying to minimize the opportunity for Show Low to return. We talked about their specialty teams. The return team, very impressive. You know, Ken, when you're all bundled up, you're acting like this weather's changing a little bit.
7 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the third, and the weather has changed a little bit. Just a slight breeze.
I'm going to throw a thought at you, but that hat that Brandon Todd had, I mean, you talk about a fashionista. Brandon Todd has the hat of all hats. He's a musher. It looks like a musher.
Maxwell to throw, has his man caught by Curry, and Curry turns it upfield and tries to slant inside at the 30-yard line.
His helmet came off.
And you can see right now, hard shot by, it looked like a hard shot, kind of a late hit by the Payson defender,
44's helmet came off. He's got to go.
William Youngbird. So in the process, he's trying to hit the Show Low Cougar, misses, hits his own player who's down.
And the official saying that the Payson Longhorns here have incurred a penalty. Stephen Curry. Let's check in with Mike Granillo. Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Camden. The officials, with the help from the Show Low coaching staff, pointed out that number 44 Youngbird's helmet came off, and because of that, he's got to come out for one play. It came off in the natural course of things, though, so no penalty incurred there. Also had a chance to talk with Coach Reisdorf coming out of the locker room at halftime, asked him if he was going to do anything different, and his main comment, he said no, they're just going to do things because they just want to get out of here safe. He's very worried about injuries, and I've noticed that Dallin Crandall has not played so far here in the second half.
All right, thanks, Mike, and we'll try to get an update on the injured player here for you in a moment. But he's up. And
good to see that coming off the field on his own. That's number 18. Jesse Berry, again, took a shot from his own player, but and that's some of the time where you're most exposed.
Yeah, some of the toughest hits come from your own guys.
Absolutely. Friendly fire, as Mike Caldwell put it. I think we can all talk about being married. I think we can talk about that at home.
Is that friendly
fire? Some of the biggest shots I've taken.
Slot to the left, or rather to the right, I should say. Two receivers right, handed off straight ahead to Rove. Rove with a blocker. Has some room. 45, 50. He's got to go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Bryce Rove. Blisters up the near sideline. 69 yards for the score.
What a run by Rove. Fun to watch. Again, good running backs know how to read blocks, set up blocks, makes a nice cut to the outside, and just with that burst of speed outruns everybody, slows down about the 15-yard line to let these guys catch up, knowing he's got a free ride into the end zone. Great play calling and execution by the Show Low Cougars.
And I think you said it best, Bill. Fun to watch.
Absolutely. And I tell you, that's some solid football play out there. Execution by the Show Low Cougars. I think again the extra point is good.
It is good.
And after the point after try, 39-0. The Cougars lead with 7 minutes and 26 seconds left to play here in the third quarter, I should say. We'll keep it here.
42 points and the clock keeps going, right? Running clock?
Yep, 42 points.
Hey, we're only 3 points away, one field goal.
7 minutes, 26 seconds remaining here in the third, and opportunity to remind you to stick around to our post-game comments where we'll announce the Indian Pine Restaurant player of the game. And don't forget, great concert happening out at the Honda Resort Casino coming up on the 29th of November. A tribute concert to Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn, absolutely. Great concert series. Be sure to check it out online. Again, that's the
it's at
Honda Resort.
Yeah, HON-DAH.com. Here's the kick and back out into the end zone. That should have been down, right?
You can't come out of the end zone.
The official, I think, maybe thought he was officiating on Saturday or something.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something, not a lot of officials have the eyes that you have, Camden Smith. And to recognize that from up here, pretty impressive that he stepped in. Maybe the official didn't notice.
Maybe, although he did throw a beanbag at where the ball was. Now the ball didn't cross the plane of the end zone. He threw the beanbag at the goal line. So maybe the ball didn't go across the line.
First down.
Great thought. Great thought.
We'll let Mike Reneel.
It looked like he came back into the end zone. I think he had both feet. We'll have to look at the replay.
We'll let Mike Reneel figure that one out for us. Option to the right this time. Dean Harp tries to get around the edge, but a great open field tackle by Damian Sharp. Sharp's done a nice job tonight, Bill.
A little bit different look that time. Yeah, as you mentioned, they're trying to get the ball to Sharp this time. Out in space on the pitch. But again, the Show Low Cougars come up nicely, staying home, and make the stop after about a yard gain. But a different look to the option, and that's what these guys do. Try to give you different looks, see if they can get somebody to bite. Show Low Cougars really did a nice job staying outside.
Mendoza under center. Handed off to Chapman. Chapman with the hole. Out to the 25-30. Tries to split the defender. Is going to be drugged down at the 32, call it the 37-yard line. Garrett Means on the tackle. And we got a Show Low Cougar that's missing his skid lid.
And another helmet comes off. And again, that's kind of a reflection of the physical play that's going on out there. A lot of stuff going on up at the head level, which is never good.
So for the Cougars, coming out is Austin Daniels, the senior. Outside linebacker is going to have to set out a play.
You know, it's fun to watch Chapman run. Obviously, you can see the way he's, he can adjust his speed, kind of hesitates a little bit, and then with the quick burst does a great job. But the Show Low Cougars managed to bring him down because in space, he's a tough guy to bring down.
Chapman left side, 40, 45, and he'll be knocked down close to a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down. Tonight's contest brought to you in part by Cellular One. Cellular One with their new 3G network. Faster is here at Cellular One. They invite you to check out a Cellular One location near you and take the test, take the speed test. Find out if your network is actually faster than Cellular One's, and Cellular One touting that they have now the fastest network on the mountain.
You had me worried. I thought if it's a multiple choice, whatever, I don't stand a chance. But if it's just testing equipment, not me having to take a test.
You can handle it, I assure you. Chapman pulls over a tackler at the 49 and gets close to a Lacey Weeks at Walken Volk Mortgage first down, but a penalty marker thrown back at the 49.
And really riding what got him here, Chapman, the go-to guy. Only a sophomore has had an impressive couple years. 18 carries already tonight for over 100 yards, 102 according to our statistician Mike Caldwell. And that impresses me as well, because Mike, I thought when he ran out of fingers and toes he was struggling, but obviously he brought his calculator.
Holding penalty will mark them back to the Payson 39, and
first down.
Under 6 minutes to play in the third. Cougars lead 39-0. First down and 16. Call it first and 17. Man in motion, hand to him. It's Chapman, turns it upfield. Met there, though, immediately and dropped after a gain of 2.
Nice job by Terrence Bridges. Big shot on the inside. As Chapman drops his shoulder, big fella says, oh no, that ain't working with me. Wraps him up and drops him immediately. Third or second and long now for the Payson Longhorns.
Mike said we saw Caleb Farr warming up with
Kobe
Maxwell early on in the first half.
Right.
And it looked like Farr was going to come. It's actually just Maxwell keeping warm. And we see some action down on the track again with Farr and Maxwell.
Well, we saw far earlier, and it was a long way away, maybe far away, down in the valley. He did a great job. When we saw him, picked up where Maxwell let off. Obviously, it'll be anxious to see how the junior plays tonight.
Wyatt Chapman, the sophomore running back, checking out of the Longhorn lineup as Mendoza empties the backfield and goes with a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Now sets a man in motion towards the right. Mendoza looking to sweep right. He turns it upfield and loses the football at the 46. Damian Sharp knocked it loose, and Stephon Curry picks it up for the Cougars.
Well, Mendoza again just trying to keep the ball, fakes the speed sweep, fly sweep, follows him on around the right side, but big shot, got a little bit careless with the ball. Mendoza turns it over to Show Low Cougars with what could be great field position, middle of the field. A lot of motion coming from our through our effects mic.
Yeah, you see Sharp there just getting his helmet on the football and knocking it loose.
Yep.
If you'd like to watch tonight's contest, go to italk1067.com. That's italk1067.com. Also, you can watch tonight's contest tape delayed on City 4 TV on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock. Saturdays at 1:30.
You'll also get a view of Brandon Todd's hat, the musher down there, working the sideline. No stopping him, but and we gotta score that. We gotta get a couple more hats.
First down and 10 as the Cougars are going to have the football and a penalty assessed on top of it.
Even better field position. Boom.
They hand it off. Rusty Allen up the middle, slips a tackle, one man to beat. And he's going to fall down at the 18 inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 17-yard line. You know, Mountain Comfort heating and cooling first down, but this one could be coming back. Penalty markers thrown back at the 35.
It's senior night, senior Rusty Allen. Nice bit of running that time up the left side. We saw him fighting for those extra yards. Spinning, high stepping, does a great job stepping over people. But it is going to come back, an opportunity for him to do it again.
A block below the waist inside the tackles. And the penalty assessed against the Cougars. That is their 5th tonight for 50 yards. Again, last week, only 2 penalties for 25 yards against this Longhorn team.
You know, no surprise, though. Very physical game, physical play. Kids' emotions get involved. And you can bet these guys really want to play hard against this Payson Longhorn team. Just a little overzealous.
In the gun, Caleb Farr hands it off right side. And it goes to Jason Brown, a freshman running back, and he's got a yard.
And, you know, big fella, a freshman, is a big guy for a freshman, does a great job, just a quick blast up inside. But you can expect that's a role he's going to play down the road. Again, only a freshman gets an opportunity in this game.
2 receivers wide to the right side of the set. Farr hands it off. Willie Wyatt coming around the left side. He's lowers his shoulder and fights his way across the 40 down at the 39. William Youngberg on the tackle for the Longhorns.
Well, Willie Wyatt, we've seen him on defense. Defensive end does a nice job that time coming around on the counter and just keeps running downhill.
Moving 3rd down, Cougars.
3rd down and 11. Call it 3rd and 12 coming up.
Looks like the freshman's back in.
Under 3 to play now in the 3rd quarter, and we get timeout on the field. Payson Longhorns want to talk it over. We'll take one with them. 39-0 Cougars. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Timeout call.
And you're clear.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
Cougars up 39-0. Third down and 12. Caleb Farr in the gun. 3 receivers to the right. Hand it to Allen, coming back to the near side after he went motion right. Now comes left, and he has not enough for a first down. He gets across the 35-yard line and will be knocked down at the 34. Rusty Allen on the tackle. Or excuse me, William Youngberg on the tackle. Allen on the carry. And the starters come back in to see if they can convert on 4th down. Oh no, they're going to go for a field goal. Borrego with the place at the 40-yard line, offset to the left side, left hash, 40-yard line, going to be a 50-yard field goal for Borrego. Here's the snap, the place, Borrego's kick, plenty of distance, but it's wide to the left. No good. Look good, but it doesn't quite make it through the uprights, and that's too bad. I'd like to see him get that 50-yarder.
You know what I like to see is the fact that they go for it. There's a lot of faith in Borrego, and Borrego with plenty of leg. You can see why. Just a little bit left, just a little bit of an adjustment needed, and he'll be back on track.
1:53 remaining in the third quarter, 39-0. Cougars on top.
What a great way to start the playoffs for the Show Low Cougars.
Round 1 of the 2013 state playoffs presented by Show Low Ford. Go in and say hello to Guy Hatch for us and tell him that you heard him on the radio at iTalk1067.com. Tell him you heard about his dealership, Show Low Ford.
Yep.
Sweeping to the right, Chapman turns it upfield at the 20, knocks down a tackler at the 25, and will get out across the 30 to the 31. This good for a Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Bolt Mortgage. First down, Stephen Curry on the tackle.
Oh, good little forward lean by Chapman. Gets around the right side, gets the edge, but he takes shots, but he manages to keep his feet. He's got good balance, good lean, and you got to wrap up. If you don't wrap up, he's not coming down. Does a nice job getting that first down.
Minute 35 remaining.
2nd and 10. I call it the way I see it. The down marker says 2nd.
It does say 2nd and 10, but I think it is 1st and 10. A handoff off tackle left side.
Yep.
And good for a couple yards here.
Every play does that.
Tackle by number 6, Garrett Means.
2nd down and 7 coming up now for the Longhorns. And they just forgot to change the box, Bill. It was 1st and 10.
Hey, man, I call it the way I see it. They say it's 2nd and 10. I'm going to go with 2nd and 10.
You were on the spot.
I don't rock the boat. I just...
Nobody noticed that except for you. And Mendoza in trouble in the backfield. Marky Potter comes up and knocks him down. Actually, excuse me, that is not Marky Potter, not even close.
That is
Potter.
John Larson.
John Larson,
John
junior,
Larson.
a linebacker, comes across and makes a stop.
Big fella showing his stuff on senior night, comes in from the left side, again tries to turn back Mendoza. All that pressure, nice job by that defense.
At the 34-yard line, Longhorn 34, Mendoza under center, 2 receivers right, looks to throw, has his man Sweeney out on the flat on the right side, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back at the 32-yard line.
And it's John Larson again, does a nice job out on the flat.
That's the end of the fourth quarter. Cougars lead 39-0. We'll step away. 4th and final coming up next on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
My friend Alex was diagnosed with cancer. I put on a concert with tons of other kids so they could help raise money and lift his spirits.
It's a very good feeling to volunteer.
Kids can really make a difference.
Helping other people in my community.
To do something bigger than myself.
Rewarding.
Every story touches home. Even if it's not your own cause, it becomes yours when you help people.
I organized a food drive so they could have a warm meal every day.
The people next door to us might have big struggles.
Change someone's life and make someone's day.
When I help out, I get this warm feeling in my heart.
If you have a giving heart, you need to give as much as possible.
Step out and help someone else and just help make the world a better place.
Seeing garbage in road ditches and in city parks motivated me to clean up trash.
If it's the right thing to do, then go ahead and do it.
You should always volunteer, whether it's big or small.
Start at a young age and keep promoting the spirit of volunteerism as you go throughout your life.
Young students make a big difference.
Welcome back. The Show Low Cougars up 39-0 as we go to the fourth and final quarter here. As the Payson Longhorns have a fourth down, facing a fourth down. It'll be 4th down and 7. And it looks like Harp's going to step back to punt, stands at the Horn 21-yard line. Nobody back to receive for the Cougars. We'll see if the Longhorns actually do punt it away. The officials taking a lot of time to spot the ball. Now they mark it and we're set to go. Here's the snap. It's high. Harp handles it. Gets it off, and it's a good punt. Bounces at the 20 and then goes, or rather the 30, and bounces out of bounds. And that's where the Cougars will take over with a 70-yard field. Hey, next week we'll have full coverage of the state playoffs for you here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide at iTalk1067.com. Special thanks to our student producers tonight, our camera crew from Show Low High School, and all those that have made tonight's game possible. Mel West, our executive producer on City 4 TV side, along with Jerry Butler, the executive producer on the Show Low High School side of things. Tonight's contest can be seen on City 4 TV next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7. Quick throw to Jerome Fawcett. Oh, excuse me, that's Jace Brewer, the sophomore.
Getting some play time in, the sophomore. Jace Brewer does a nice job just on a little end. Good throw by Farr, puts it right on the line. And I think that's something we've seen from him when we've seen him play. Good little quarterback, has a good arm. Accurate.
Second down, Jason Brown has a first down and more. Out across the 45-yard line, a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down for the freshman from Show Low High School.
Big fella coming off the field, but nice job running up the right, up the left side. Only a freshman, but a big guy. He really does a great job.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing more of him in the coming years. As the Cougars continue to build this program and start a legacy here.
I think it's
Coach
been
Reisdorf
going on for a while, but nice job by Escalante.
What do you mean you think it's been going on for a while?
Well, you talk about it like it just is happening.
Well, it has over the last 7 years. It's just, that's recent.
Well, it's been happening even before that. There's a great tradition over here.
Well, sure.
Very physical play.
But
Good
I'm talking
coaches.
about the Reisdorf legacy.
The Reisdorf, absolutely.
Second down and 11. 2 receivers left. Far to throw, and he has it tipped away, intended for Brewer, incomplete.
That's a needle you probably don't want to thread, trying to get it through the arms of a defender to your receiver, and somehow it managed to get there, but just couldn't come up with it. Again, tough physical play by the Payson Longhorns. What I like about them is they haven't quit. You know, they're still going hard all night, even though they're down 39-0. Still the defense playing to make a stop every play.
3rd and 11. Two receivers left. Far in the gun. Looks to his left, fires, and it's going to be almost picked off.
Wow.
Bowen Sweeney with his hands all over it. I don't know if he came down with it or not, but a penalty marker was thrown from the far side. We may have an interference call.
Right in the mess. We'll see what happens, but a good defensive play. It looked like really anticipating the throw.
There's the replay, and we see the defender going over the back this time.
It's against the Cougars.
Well, they say offensive pass interference.
They both have a right to the ball.
They should have looked at the replay, put them under the hood.
Absolutely.
That's a penalty against the Cougars. That's their 6th penalty tonight. And the Longhorns are going to decline it, and they'll
4th down. You're right.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been 4th down. It's not a loss of down.
No.
Okay. So they decline it and accept they want the down since the play didn't go for a completion. 4th down and 11. There's the snap, Farr rolling to his right. Pump fakes, now fires, has his man, and it's caught by Curry at the 40-yard line on a great grab. First down, a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down.
Great job by Curry, really recognizing what he needed for the first down. Comes back to catch the ball. Farr rolls right and put it right on the money. Nice job by Farr. Nice route and catch by Curry.
I love the way Farr is able to throw off that off foot. He's able to throw on the run. Does a nice job rolling to his right and makes the throw.
On that off foot.
Handed off to
off foot.
Escalante.
What are the first signs of frostbite? I think off foot is one of them.
I'm not even talking to you anymore, Bill.
Oh my gosh.
9:42 left to play in the contest. Cougars up 39.
I don't know where you played, but I know you weren't a quarterback.
Hey, just because I was on the line, let's not make things up.
Now you got quarterbacks at home. I'm going to give you that. Got a couple.
That's true.
Football ballers at home that are going to be getting after it.
I think my girls are going to play football.
I'm talking your boys. You got some players.
All right. Brown on the carry this time. The freshman has it across the 35-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 35. Special thanks to Sage McCreel, our student producer tonight, also the technical director. Debbie Paulson on audio tonight. Trent Kleinman, cameraman. Dakota Hayes on graphics. Sky Perez on camera. Brittany Riggins on camera. McKenna Brannon and Micah Davis on the main camera tonight. Intended for Farr on the far side, or excuse me, Farr's pass. Intended for Mason Fagoti, and his pass is incomplete. Also tonight, producer Sage McCrill, graphics Dakota Hayes, main camera Micah Davis. I think Ron wrote this twice.
I think you're reading it twice.
No,
they just want to see.
Twice.
You know, I think there's a joke like that. You just see how. Are you like the cameraman? You just read whatever's in front of you.
I do,
even though it's twice.
All right, we got some updates for you back at the studio as the Cougars run a play on 4th down, and they're going to turn it over on downs here. Willie Wyatt can't get to the edge, and the Longhorns will have the football. Let's go back to the studio and check in with Royce Kincannon in this scoring update. Royce?
That's right. We've got a bunch of scores here at the iTalk Sports Central. We've got Division 4 volleyball. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets lose to Cactus 3-0, and they are eliminated. The Snowflake Lobos beat Catalina 3-0, and they're in the finals. In soccer, Chino Valley 3, Show Low 1, and they are eliminated. Blue Ridge wins 5-3 over Wilcox. And in football, Safford's come back to make it a really good game. A score of 28-23. It's straight up the hills over Safford. Final score: Blue Ridge 59, Monument Valley 7, Round Valley 51, and Benson 8. And with the Show Low score, 39-0 over Payson. Back to you.
that Royce tells us what the Show Low score is every week?
I know, 39.
So we can remember.
And I'm glad he's right, because we never are. But, hey, kudos to Round Valley Elks on the upside. Again, nice to see them doing well in the playoffs.
Hey, but thanks to Royce, in all seriousness, really great job getting some good scores for us.
Absolutely. We appreciate all the work he does.
Payson Longhorns with the Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Volk Mortgage first down. And a handoff off tackle this time to Chapman. Chapman close to a Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down as Garrett Means takes him down at the 35. Cougars 35.
Absolutely. Nice job by Chapman. And again, just staying with Chapman. We saw him around the right side. Just one of those runners. You can't feed him the ball enough. And again, with the speed, the ability he's got with the ball, does a great job. 154 yards over tonight's performance so far. 24 carries.
Chapman, a big part of this Payson Longhorn offense.
Well, I tell you what, knowing that group, the sophomore class, in Payson, there's some great things coming their way.
Absolutely. Mendoza throws deep on first down and overthrows Sarnowski down the far sideline. Great job defensively for the Cougars. And it was Damian Sharp almost picking it off. Here's the replay as Sharp is right there with him. And Sharp has been sharp tonight defensively.
He really has.
Terrific.
Mendoza, though, overthrew that a little bit. But as you mentioned, Sharp, with good defensive position, almost comes up with it, lays out for it, does a nice job.
Also want to make a shout out to Punt Cooley tonight, who
diligently
was giving us scoring updates all night. There's the hook and ladder. Give it to Harp, far sideline, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Longhorns, check the field, no flags, 35 yards on the score. And that'll put the Longhorns on the board for the first time tonight, trailing 39-6 with 7:21 left to play in the fourth.
We saw him earlier trying to set up the hook and ladder that time, executed perfectly. And again, it's Harp on the pitch, takes it around the right side, makes one cut, keeps his feet into the end zone. And Harp, you talked about it earlier, really having a good night, good performance on both sides of the ball, does a great job getting into the end zone. And you can kind of credit Sarnowski as well, does a nice job getting to the ball.
On that same topic of Punt Cooley, bringing us scores from the Blue Ridge game tonight, we want to say happy birthday to Wyatt Cooley. November 10th, it'll be on Veterans Day.
Wow.
Here's the snap, Mendoza, quick slant, and it's batted down.
You probably want to credit Casey Cooley. I think she was probably a big part of that success.
We're going to give it all to Punt.
We're not going to give him any kudos.
Unless Casey's listening. If Casey's listening, then she can have
credit. Once you meet Casey, I don't know if you've met Casey.
I haven't.
She's the brains behind the operation.
Let's go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo. Mike?
Hi, that's a hard act to follow right there, Canyon, but a lot of substitutions being made on the Show Low side of things, not hardly any starters in. Dallin Crandall has not played in the second half at all. I asked if he was injured or anything. He said nope, they're just kind of being cautious. So you're going to see a lot of guys who don't get a lot of chance to play tonight. They're going to get their shot. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. And obviously that's a good strategy here tonight. They, for our purposes, we were kind of hoping for a 42-point difference and a running clock. Get a chance to get ourselves out of these cold clothes and into a warm bed early tonight. But for the Cougars, they've got bigger and better things on in mind.
Hey, there's still some football going on, Payson Longhorns, but I will tell you this much. I think the key on a cold winter night is to always be on the leeward side of the wind. I got big fella over on the windward side, so you block the cold breeze. I just sit over here and stay warm.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Here's the kickoff. Rove on the return. He's going to be angled out of bounds. He steps out near the 35-yard line. Call it the 30. And the Cougars will set up shop there with a 70-yard field and 7:14 remaining here in the fourth. They lead it 39-6.
No, I'm basically saying you're a wind block. You're like a wall.
I was just kidding.
You didn't get it?
I understood it.
Did you?
Yes.
All right.
I got it. I'm like a billboard.
No, you're a billboard on the ground, though. You know what I'm saying? The billboard's up in the air, dude. You're more like a wall. You're like a.
Suck it up. Let's go.
A buttress. Yeah, that's it.
2 receivers to the right. Single back in the backfield is Brown. Farr's going to hand to him. He goes straight ahead across the 30 to the 31. Not much on the carry there. Stephen Perry on the tackle for the Longhorns.
I think there was about 5 or 6 of them in on the tackle, but freshman Brown, again, learning a little bit, does a nice job. Feed the big machine. Your eyes are starting to fail as we get later in the night.
Clock under 7 minutes to play now in the contest.
I haven't seen so much white since your wedding night, or wedding day, right? Didn't you wear white?
2 receivers to the right. Single back in the backfield. And Farr to throw. He overthrows Brewer. New quarterback in for the Cougars. Looks like Porter Crandall, sophomore quarterback for the Cougars, getting some action tonight. And the incomplete pass stops the clock with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the contest.
Porter Crandall rolling right. It just made a tough throw. Really, maybe that's that little bit of sophomore stuff coming out, but this is where you want to get your opportunity.
Looking to pass again. The sophomore steps up. He's going to be hit. Ball's loose. Picked up by a Cougar. And then driven down at the 30-yard line. Stephen Perry makes the hit. And Willie Wyatt picks up the loose ball for the Cougars to preserve the possession. A loss on the play back to the 30-yard line.
And really, they're going to bring Farr back in. It looks like takes a big shot. You know, you got to protect the ball. Kind of waving that ball around with one hand. Coach Reister wants to sit him down and say, hey, let's talk about this a little bit. Bring Farr back in, see what he can do. Out of the empty set.
Set of man in motion, and Farr going to punt, and punts it in the back of one of his players. And he goes back to cover it up back at the 11-yard line, 12-yard line on 4th down, and they'll turn the ball over to the Longhorns at the, looks like the 13. Call it the 12.
Tell them to be a little tighter so we can get outside.
Great field position now for the Payson Longhorns on that block.
5.5. And there's the replay, and it looks like he just booted it right into the backside of one of his own players. And I'm not sure if he just wasn't deep enough on the play or if the line was supposed to clear out on that play.
I think if you talk to the lineman, he's going to say he wasn't deep enough.
And a pass into the end zone here by Mendoza towards Sarnowski. And it's incomplete. Tyus Sarnowski hasn't been much of a factor here tonight for the Longhorns. Leading the team in receiving yardage, and they've gone to him on several occasions, but they've yet to get much of a rhythm going tonight. Had 4 catches early in the contest, but second half hasn't happened for the Longhorns tonight. 5:22 left in the 4th. Mendoza to throw, has his man, and it is incomplete. Hit him in the hands, but he couldn't hang on. A tough catch for Sarnowski as he was running a post pattern and was open, but couldn't catch it.
Well, you know, overthrown just a little bit, but I tell you what, that is a very tough catch. In traffic, and just miss. He was overthrown, but Mendoza, we've seen him have a better night tonight, and I think part of it you have to credit that pressure by the Show Low defense.
Absolutely. They've been in his face all night long, and he's had to
8 of 21 is the official number we got.
Almost every one of his throws. Trip set a man in motion. It's Chapman. Sweeping to the right. Tries to cut it upfield, slips and falls at the 12.
And, you know, there's probably nobody breathing a sigh of relief louder than those guys out there on the edge, because again, Chapman's one of those guys. We've seen him make some great cuts earlier. That time just loses his footing, falls to the ground.
One of the guys that's worked all night long and all season long on our crew is Brandon Todd. Has done a great job of getting us the effects. Let's go down and check in with him, Brandon. We'll check in with him in a moment. He wants more time, I think, is what the problem is. So the Longhorns will call a timeout so that Brandon can give us his conjecture on the game. Brandon?
Well, I have. Why do you guys do this to me? I don't understand why you guys do this to me. It's embarrassing.
Because you're wearing
it's embarrassing.
parka on
Come
your
on,
head.
tell us about your little musher.
Okay,
thing.
so I found this thing at a Goodwill for like 57 cents.
The musher coming out in you.
Oh, it is the greatest investment I've ever made in my life.
What's the big?
Did you wash it before you put it on?
Yes.
You know what?
Maybe.
I'm glad it went to a good home. And
hey, say what you want. I think I look real good in it.
What's that sled dog race they do?
I agree.
The Iditarod.
I agree. The hat looks good.
He Ditarod the Iditarod.
39-0 Cougars, 4.5 remaining in the contest. Longhorns with the timeout on 4th down and 8. Looking to keep this drive alive and put some more points up as they trail here 39-6. Man in motion towards the formation is Sweeney. Comes and sets on the near side as a receiver in a double or twin set. And Mendoza in trouble in the backfield, sacked for the loss.
Yes, he was. Nice little job by Wyatt.
Tanner Heiser.
I'm sorry, Tanner Heiser. Only a sophomore does a nice job on the sack.
And a turnover on downs. The Cougars will have the football at the 19. Next week, don't forget, we've got football action for you here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com with live video streaming. Compliments of the students of Show Low High School tonight: Sage McCrill, Debbie Paulson, Trent Kleiman, Dakota Hayes, Dominic Knight, Sky Perez, Brittany Riggins, McKenna Brannon, and Micah Davis.
You know what I like is Dakota Hayes, I think, wrote this. She's apologizing for her handwriting, but it's much better than anything you've ever put together. But I will say also, she's in charge of graphics. She does it by hand.
Yeah, she does a good job.
Nice job.
Really, all of them doing a terrific job. And I don't know if you noticed, but this week they added slow motion, Bill.
I did notice that. It was either that or my medicine was really kicking in. But that is a nice touch, and it's amazing.
And the handoff goes to Brown this time. Brown for a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Clock should be rolling. It is. Under 4 to play now. And checking back into the Cougar lineup, Porter Crandall, the sophomore, getting a chance to step back in and run the offense. From the gun, he has Brown flanking him to his right, man in motion. Hand to that man, trips up in the backfield, and Escalante tries to spin out of a tackle and will be snowed under at the 18.
Little fly sweep around the right side. Payson, defensive side of that Payson defense, the left side, does a great job coming up, really holding the edge and hitting and coming in and helping out, finishing strong.
What's a fly sweep?
Speed sweep. Basically, it's just guys in full sprint. Right at the same time he gets to the quarterback who gets the ball, hands off, and he's already in stride.
So it's a guy in motion that gets the handoff?
In the full stride.
Full stride.
Yep.
That's a fly sweep.
That's a speed fly sweep, whatever you want to call it.
Speed fly sweep or
it's a speed sweep, fly sweep.
Or fly sweep.
Right.
Okay.
If it's us doing it, they probably call it a fly sweep. But if Chapman's doing, I think you call it a speed sweep.
34-yard line.
Penalty marker thrown, and the Cougars pick up a first down here. A Lacey Weeks at Wallach and Volk Mortgage first down. Yeah, that's what they called it when you ran it in school?
Oh, they never let me touch the ball, trust me. Matter of fact, only when I got to pick up and haul stuff in at the end.
They go off tackle right side this time.
Ball carried by number 21.
And the ball's carried this time by Mason Fagoti, the sophomore, with a couple of yards. Let's check in with Mike Reneel. Mike?
Well, I got to tell you, Camden, it's getting into the dangerous time, really. You got the starters in for the Payson Longhorns. A lot of young, light guys in for Show Low, and they're kind of getting whipped around, but they pop right back up and go back in there ready for more. They're excited to get into this playoff game. Back to you.
Absolutely, and that's an opportunity to develop the program a little bit, which will pay dividends down the road for the Cougars as Brown gets another carry. Across the 35 to the 36, Stephen Perry on the stop. Clock approaching the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter, 39-6. Cougars lead.
Did you guys hear any other scores yet? Did you hear any other scores?
And looks like the Cougars are going to call this play at the line, or perhaps a player not sure where he's supposed to go. They'll have to hurry to get this off. From the gun, Crandall to throw, fakes right, now in trouble, dumps it off to the outlet, and Brown carries around the left side, knocked down at the 40-yard line, or excuse me, Brewer. And Brewer knocked down at the 40. You see on the replay here, dumps it off, last option. As Brewer tries to turn the corner there at the 40-yard line. Good open field tackle for the Longhorns.
Nice job by the underclassmen, though, getting those yards. Tough yards. It's a tough Payson defense.
4th down and 4. Here's the snap. Looking to throw. Crandall has his man, and it's good for a first down. Brewer with the reception at the 45. A Mountain Comfort Heating and Cooling first down with 38 seconds left to play in the contest. And they'll wind the clock with the final 30 ticks of the clock. The final 30 ticks of the clock. Thanks, Bill.
You got it wrong. Switch.
First down and 10. Crandall under center will take a knee, and the Show Low Cougars will advance to round 2 of the 2013 state playoffs as the Cougars get the big win tonight over Payson, 39-6. We'll be back to recap it for you, plus a look at our Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game and our post-game comments when we return to Show Low High School next on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about football, high school, college, pro, and why not? It's great. Here at Show Low Ford, we know that winning in football or selling trucks is all about attitude and execution. We're #1 in new Ford truck sales in the White Mountains for a reason. Guy Hatch will not be undersold. Period. Save up to $10,000 on built Ford Tough trucks. Finance at 0% for up to 60 months and get cash back. And a lifetime warranty on top of it. Yeah, Ford has been the #1 selling truck for 36 years running, and Show Low Ford has been #1 in the White Mountains. Why? Because we are not just going to meet, but we are going to exceed your expectations. Ford's given us the trucks, Ford's given us the incentives, and we are giving you our promise. We won't be undersold on a new Ford truck. Nope, not here, not anywhere. That way we stay #1. Your friendly family Ford dealer, Show Low Ford, on the east end of the Deuce in Show Low. Thank you. All offers on approved credit. Offers not in conjunction, plus tax, title, license, and processing fees. Savings inclusive of all incentives, rebates, discounts on select models. Not all qualify. 0% varies by model and term. See dealer for details.
No
said hello.
To the south end of the field for the retiring Dr. Fellows.
Welcome back to Show Low High School final score. The Show Low Cougars up over the Payson Longhorns, beating them twice in 2 weeks, 39-6 tonight. It was a terrific start of the game for the Cougars, and the Cougars got off to a very quick start, and then they did well throughout that first half. A little bit of some mistakes maybe late in that first half. Of course, Van Winkle getting kicked out of the contest and will not get a chance to play next week. So some things that they obviously want to work on for the coming weeks, but a terrific win for the Cougars nonetheless, advancing to round 2.
Hey, a win is a win, right? You hate to lose Van Winkle, but if you're going to do it, maybe next week is the time. I mean, don't want to lose him at all, but you would expect next week they stand an awful good chance. You really want to, the deeper you go, you can't afford to make mistakes like that. But overall, a great performance, as you mentioned early on, and then finishing good.
Brandon Todd has Coach Reisdorf available for a post-game interview. Let's check in with Brandon Todd.
Thanks, Kenman. Yeah, I'm here with Coach Reisdorf. Coach, impressive win. Obviously, we knew that it was going to be the type of game where the younger classmen were going to get a chance to play. But touching on your first team, give me your thoughts on how they played while they were out there.
I thought we executed well. Jaron Fawcett had a big game. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, an interception early in the game. And so that's huge. And I thought our line did a good job. I thought defensively we did a good job. Still got things to work on, but overall I was pleased with where we're at.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you about going into next week's practice. What are some of the things you're going to take out of this game that you really need to correct so you don't make those same mistakes next week?
I mean, we worked the heck out of our passing game, but for some reason teams still are able to throw the ball a little bit. But you know what? We're not perfect. That's why we keep practicing, and we're not too bad because they're not scoring points. We're just giving up some yards that we could do better on. And so just the fundamentals, tackling, drops, and getting in our right zones, we'll be okay.
Coach, I got to ask you, in that first half, things got a little dicey there with some, the 4 flags, a couple of unsportsmanlike conducts, and which resulted in the ejection of Van Winkle, which means he can't play next week. Tell me, how big is that loss to you?
Well, it is big, especially with Jace Wyatt out, so that's both of our starting inside backers out. But, that's an opportunity for somebody else. It's too bad. Brett, he's a senior. He's a great football player, high-character kid. So some of the accusations are a little shady. I don't know. But, we have to move on. We don't have a choice. We fought it, and we lost, and we'll just go forward.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Good luck next week, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Back to you.
Well done, Brandon. Great comments there by Coach Reisdorf. And, of course, a good opportunity for other kids to step up. And hopefully for the Cougars, they're not going to have a very tough opponent next week.
Well, and we'll yet to see. I mean, I thought Payson performed really well. They fought to the end, and again, kind of took Show Low out of their game. And I think, if you can't do it through your offensive play, anything you can do to kind of get the other team out of rhythm, and that's what they did do. I think it was a kind of a tough hit by Sarnowski, caught him up around the head. But regardless, Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting what happens next week. You're right. We would expect the Show Low Cougars to move on, and they should move on handily. But we'll see what happens.
Time now for our Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game, brought to you by the Indian Pine Restaurant. Don't forget, coming up at the Honda Casino on the 29th, it is a great show concert, a tribute band for Brooks and Dunn. Get your tickets at the Honda Resort Casino gift shop. And don't forget to go and order your pizza at the Indian Pine Restaurant. A great place to get pizza. They've got some of the best pizza on the mountain. Pick your toppings there, and an opportunity you can dine in or call in your order and pick it up at the Indian Pine Restaurant.
Absolutely. And there's one thing, we may not know football, but we know pizza.
We do.
And they do make a good pizza.
We do. You can trust us on this one.
By the pound.
So Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game. Of course, Bill, it's always a tough call, and we have a lot of players on that Cougar team that did well. There was a lot of players on the Longhorn team that did well, but as it comes down to just one player, who is our Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game?
I think, we heard Coach Rice touch base on it. Jerome Fawcett came out, had a great performance. And again, it's senior night here in Show Low. 3 scores, 1 interception, does a nice job all game long, plays hard, does an outstanding job for the Show Low Cougars. Congratulations, Jerome Fawcett.
Jerome Fawcett, our Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game. We'll have an interview with him coming up in just a moment. As we conclude our post-game comments, we'll be back with our final segment when we return. This has been Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
My friend Alex was diagnosed with cancer, so I put on a concert with tons of other kids so they could help raise money and lift his spirits.
It's a very good feeling to volunteer.
Kids can really make a difference, helping other people in my community.
To do something bigger than myself.
Start at a young age and keep promoting the spirit of volunteerism as you go throughout your life.
Young students make a big difference when they volunteer. Encourage them to learn more about the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. Visit spirit.prudential.com.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. The Cougars with the win tonight over the Longhorns, 39-6. So we go downstairs and check in with Mike Granillo. Mike.
Hey, thanks, Cam. I'm here with Jerome Fawcett, our Indian Pine Restaurant Player of the Game. I wanted to congratulate you on that. Jerome, great game tonight.
Thanks.
Hey, tonight, big game, obviously 3 touchdowns, couple interceptions. Didn't get thrown to a whole lot, but everyone was a touchdown. Did you guys feel pretty confident with those plays going into tonight's game?
Yeah, we did. We knew that they were going to go over to the trip side because we run a lot to that side, so it'll be just me and a corner, so I could just beat them.
Nice job. Hey, I don't know. Have you been starting all year at the corner and at receiver?
I've been starting at corner all season, but one of our tight end at the beginning of the season, he got hurt, so I came in.
So obviously you guys have had some big injuries to Trevor Solomon, Quentin Clark, and now Brett Van Winkle's going to be out. You've kind of had an opportunity to come in, and you've stepped up. What do you tell other guys when they get their number called to take the place of some of those other guys?
I just tell them to make the best of it, go hard, don't be stupid, just play like you know how to play, just kick some butt.
All right, and next week you guys are obviously moving on to the quarterfinals. You're going to play probably, it sounded like, Estrella Foothills. What do you guys do to prepare for those guys?
We just got to come out and practice, go our hardest, and we know that we can beat them. We just got to not beat ourselves.
All right, so that's Jerem Foster, our Indian Pine Restaurant player of the game. Thanks, Jerem, and good luck next week.
Thanks.
All right, back to you, Camden.
Thanks, Mike, and again, congratulations to Jerem Fawcett, the Indian Pine Restaurant player of the game. Let's go back to the studio and check in with Royce Kincannon in this scoring update. Royce?
Well, guess what? Show Low's not going to be able to be planning on Estrella Foothills, as Safford was down 28-7 and has come back and is beating Estrella Foothills 42-28. Blue Ridge tonight beat Monument Valley by a final score of 59-7. The Round Valley Elks beat Benson by a final score of 51-8. It was Show Low 39 and Payson 6. Some scores from Division 4 volleyball. Blue Ridge loses to Cactus 3-0. Snowflake beats Catalina 3-0. Some final scores from Division 4 soccer. Chino Valley 3 and Show Low 1. Show Low's eliminated. But the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets hung on to win 5-3 over Wilcox. And that's your sports from iTalk 106.7.
A lot, Royce says that'll be our final scores of the night. Again, the final score here tonight, the Cougars victorious over the Longhorns 39-6. Special thanks to our in-studio producer, Royce Kincannon. On site, we've had our film crew, Sage McCreel, Debbie Paulson, Trent Kleinman, Dakota Hayes, Dominic Knight, Sky Perez, Brittany Riggins, McKenna Brannon, and Micah Davis. Also, we want to say special thanks to our executive producers tonight, Jerry Butler and Mel West. On the field, it was Brandon Todd and Mike Granillo. Our on-site statistician and spotter tonight was Mike Caldwell. And for Bill London, I'm Camden Smith, inviting you back next week as high school playoffs continue. The 2013 high school playoffs presented by Show Low Ford continue here on iTalk 106.7 as we'll hopefully carry, I think we're going to carry that Blue Ridge Coolidge game coming up next week, Bill. Were you done?
Well, I finally got the hat. You know, we got the
nice.
hat.
Nice. Well, here, let me help you.
I'm ready.
Can we get some makeup?
Makes my eyes pop.
That'll wrap things up for us here from Show Low High School. I'm Camden Smith. Once again, the final. The Cougars 39, the Longhorns 6. So long, everybody.